Hi, everyone. Welcome to UFC 267. It is Matt Ryan, the brunching and boozing Brendan Sokler, and joining us across the continent is that's me feeding back into me because I'm watching the live chat right now. And joining us on the other side of the world, it is Shakiel Mahjouri. Shaq, what's going on?
Hello. I am so tired because I got like 6 hours of sleep because it's Halloween weekend and I had better things to do then. And by better things to do, I mean everything is still not allowed here, so I sat in a room with 5 of my friends. But we had a good time. I'm just trying to survive on this early morning card. Happy to be here. Happy to have all y'all here.
And we're glad to be here too, everybody. Coming to you live from the studio. We're getting things ready with the pre-show.
I too, Shaq, am tired as dick, as the kids say, as I went to Drinking Game NYC's Hocus Pocus last night at the Bell House. Fantastic stuff, everyone. I know a couple of them might even be joining here in the live feed. So shout out to everyone.
Shout out to all 2,800 humans watching this right now from across the world.
Hey, everybody. We're glad to have you. And Matt, these fights.
Yeah.
So good.
It is an insane card this evening. We've got 2 title fights, 1 real title fight, 1 interim title fight.
Oh my God.
And then we also have starting off the card, it's Volkan Oezdemir against Magomed Ankalaev in a light heavyweight showdown. Ankalaev coming in with a 6-fight win streak. Ooh. Oezdemir lost 4 of his last 6. Shaq, what do you got for us?
Oh, sorry. I was just throwing up the peace sign for the camera while I dealt with the various videos. But,
fantastic.
Peace to you as well, my friend.
Volkan Oezdemir on a skid to a degree. I mean, I love Volkan. I'm sad about this.
You love the planet Vulcan.
I love the planet Vulcan. I hope he turns it around. We have so many goddamn good fights, Matt. This looks insane.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Hazmat.
Yep.
Hazmat
Chimaev versus Li Jingliang. Coming into this fight, Chimaev is 9-0, undefeated.
Very evoking of, I believe Khabib is one of his trainers, but it certainly reminds me of that style. Just a wrecking machine.
And we've got a lot of Chimaev fans in the chat right now.
Yeah.
All around the world, people watching today, because it's the middle of the afternoon.
We get to get done early, and I'll just be hungover by 8 o'clock. What the fuck?
Shout out to PJ Simpson with a Shiba dog in a combat position, kind of looking like our own Olive Quijibo Sotili.
Is that a Shiba coin reference?
It might be.
My friend told me to invest in that. And now I'm eating my own head that I didn't.
Shout out to Fury Fleming. What's up to you, my friend? I'm going to move this monitor over a little bit so we can both see the chats a little easier.
There we go.
We keep changing our setup here every month because it just keeps changing.
Because we're getting better.
Yes.
That's what's happening here. Also, Alexander Volkov fighting at 265 today in what should be an absolute banger. And then, of course, we should probably talk about some of these interim title fights.
Yeah, well, we've got Dan Hooker versus Makhachev, as you said before, but then we have our co-main event for the interim bantamweight title. Somehow, much like pro wrestling, a guy who got DQ'd in his last fight is fighting for the title. Petr Yan will be going up against Cory Sandhagen in our co-main event. He's coming off a split decision loss, so that lets you know how good the bantamweight division is right now. Shout out to MB Capone donating five euros to the cause.
Jesus, I mean, this is a fight that shouldn't be happening for the interim belt. Good fight.
It's a good fight. It's a solid fight night main event. It's something you would watch on ESPN Plus, and also that's the fun fact. Everyone with an ESPN Plus subscription, if you don't have ESPN Plus yet, click the link in the description and sign up for ESPN Plus because of us. And that's, you know why? Because it's not on pay-per-view. It's a numbered UFC event for the first time ever. A numbered UFC event, not on pay-per-view.
Another first is happening today, Matt. Bruce Buffer's not going to be there.
Yeah, I know. Bruce Buffer, for the first time in over 20 years, will be not the ring announcer. 25 years.
Yeah.
Will not be ring announcing a UFC pay-per-view. It is Joe Martinez, who's a fantastic ring announcer in his own right because
was with the WEC, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also does a lot of Golden Boy boxing. Is a really talented ring announcer.
Well, we wish him all the luck today, and all the good thoughts and good vibes. He's stepping into astronomically big and probably very fancy shoes.
Yes, very just not the right amount of width.
Yeah,
just the right amount of width. That makes a good shoe.
He has such good shoes. And then our main event, Jan Blachowicz, Glover Teixeira. Ooh, what a banger of the light heavyweight dads. I am here for it.
A fight that would sell out at any little league park across these fine United States. Jan Blachowicz taking on Glover Teixeira. Teixeira won his last 5 fights, 3, including his last win over common opponent Thiago Santos by submission. So some heavy leather going into this one, but it's going to be interesting to see if Teixeira can get Blachowicz on the ground. He's only been submitted once, the defending champion. He's tossed 9 submissions in his career. Once this fight goes to the ground, it will be very interesting.
It will be very interesting. Yeah.
MB Capone donating another €5 to the cause. That means we get to eat tonight.
Hippo character with stars growing in his eyes, pumping his arms in the air with the word hype pulsating above him.
Yes.
What a quote.
That's the sticker.
Oh, that's the
YouTube,
sticker. I thought this is what was being written out by you people. I'm like, that's random.
Yeah. But you know what? More random. How about you, Shaq? How do you feel about this card? It's interesting. It's weirdly put together. And also random. We're at 132,000 subscribers. Where do we want to see our subscribers today?
Ooh.
Wow, we had 1,000. I want everybody at SB Nation and our sugar daddies over at MMA Mania and Bloody Elbow to know that we brought you 1,000 subscribers today. We would like either a new backdrop, a solid gold hat, or possibly a lucha outfit for Shaq to wear next week on the show.
Done and done.
Like I wanted full Rey Mysterio Halloween Havoc 1997.
Oh yeah, Shaq, you could pull that off. Why do you gotta hurt us like this?
You're a real piece of shit. I hope Doug Gilmore shows up to your house and just shits on your carpet.
Thank you for being wonderful, Shaq, but also your fart butt. Technical term.
Shaq, your mic is muted, by the way.
Full time, my bad.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're at 133,764 currently. I think we can get to 135,000 subscribers by the end of the stream. So please, guys, if you can, thumbs up, subscribe. That stuff really helps get us out there. If you like some out-of-the-box MMA content, we got a ton over at the YouTube channel. We have Henry Cejudo, king of cringe himself, going through a tournament bracket and crowning the court gesture of cringe, the second cringiest fighter in UFC history. We've got a compilation of cornermen yelling at their fighters, a la Jim West, Aspen Ladd. And either the best or the worst trash talk between Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington, depending on how you gauge that kind of stuff.
Is it St. Pierre-esque, where it's just like, he's not being very nice? I think he's a bad person.
It's more like when you get into an argument with the other kid on the playground and he goes pee-pee poo-poo.
Oh,
good. That's the real shit right there.
That's
you call me a duty head, I'm throwing down.
Shout out to MB Capone donating another €2, and I believe that is a Dutch flag.
Nice. Rad. Let us know what flag that was.
And let us know where you're watching from. We've got people from all across the world joining us every single show. We'll be back. Well, I'll be back here next week. Shaq will be here next week. And also the one person we haven't introduced yet, because we needed to shout her out deeper into the show per her contract that she signed. She made me sign.
Part of the rider,
to make sure that I still had a lease. Stephanie Sotilli. Stephanie, how are you? They don't have chartreuse M&Ms. That was the closest I can get.
That sounds like a you problem.
But Steph will be the one in the chat talking to y'all all afternoon long. Well, it's afternoon here.
Yeah.
You would denote it as an evening show because we are both wearing shirts with collars.
Yeah.
And Brendan is drinking whiskey, but I am drinking out of this mug for the Chow Chow Rescue of Central New York. I am drinking coffee for now.
I love Chow Chows.
As you should. Olive is part Chow Chow.
And part fluff.
Yes.
Talking about fights, Matt, because you asked, I'm afraid to say this. I feel like it's going to tank the views here based on the fandom I'm seeing in the chat. I'm a little worried for Hazmat Chimaev. And let me say, this is not because of the quality he has as a fighter. He is an amazing fighter. But this is a long layoff, about a year, because of long-term health complications from the Ronas. He's really struggled to make weight yesterday, and now he's fighting the 11th ranked welterweight in the UFC. It just seems like a lot to come back into. He was given a fight as if he just had his 3 fights in like 15 days or whatever it was that he did last year on Fight Island. I wish the UFC gave him maybe someone just out of the top 15, let him reacclimatize for his benefit because he's been out so long and he's had so much going on. But man, he's a gamer. We're throwing him right in the deep end, and if he pulls through, especially after all this, he's 110% the real deal.
Yeah. So to me, the big stat here in this fight, which is the second fight of our card tonight, this afternoon, whenever the hell it is that Li Jingliang, when you go to the scorecards, is 5-5. Yep. He's at 500 in his career. So the deeper this fight goes, the more you would think it would be a toss-up. But then you bring up those 2 bouts and the effect on his lungs. We don't know how deep it was. As Shaq said, he looked a little shaky at the weigh-ins. So it's not necessarily a lot of good signs, but as Shaq said, if Hazmat gets that win, then that proves he should be in line for a title shot.
I would agree with that sentiment, man. And I'd also say that the type of style, that Sambo meets wrestling style, is exhausting. It is constant pressure, constant maneuvering with leverage, but you are having to put down a lot of force in order to maintain control over someone like that. It will be a very interesting test. And this is something that I'm just going to open up to the room, is that we've talked about older fighters not necessarily getting gimme fights or even anything remotely fair. This is a constant thing with the UFC where it's just like, you had an issue? Well, fuck you.
Man. How dare you interrupt our plans with your bullshit?
Yeah, with your health complications over getting a disease during a pandemic. Like, wow, way to be a dick. I'm a little bit baffled with the matchmaking here. But as Shaq so eloquently put it, if he wins this, it's the real fucking deal. Yeah. I mean, it is going to be a test. I'm excited to see it. I'm a little apprehensive. But he's walking down the hallway now and he doesn't look winded doing that. So that's good.
Interesting thing just coming in from ESPN, Vladislav Kiselev, the controversial referee that a lot of you were complaining about before we got live today with the prelims, has been pulled from the card after questionable refereeing. So we might, so we're already off to a good start. Abe Wine saying Hazmat looks like Gargamel. Solid pull. Solid pull.
100% accurate.
Yeah.
That's just good goddamn casting right there.
And if you're just joining us, I'm Matt Ryan. That's Brendan Sokler. Joining us across the continent is Shakiel Mahjouri. On the other side of the metaphorical glass is Stephanie Sotilli. We have a live studio audience on the show, as always, along with a couple of thousand of you rowdy psychopaths. We're getting the black and white screen right now on our televisions. And also, if you don't have ESPN Plus and you're watching along, you're listening along right now, and you want to keep listening along, but you want to see the fights happen in real time, please click the link in our description, sign up for ESPN Plus, and then you can watch along with us and also get a pretty nice discount. And also, it helps us. Yeah. It keeps Olive in Furs and me from being able to put Olive in Furs.
Why do you put fur on the fur baby? It seems like a hat on a hat.
Are you saying you should put in hat? You only wear the hat?
It's not about that. Any hoozle, here we are. The show is about to begin. We should play our game.
We
right?
should. It is time for Closest to the Hole, brought to you by my crippling anxiety and depression. I won the last time, so I get to pick who goes first.
And who's going first?
That would be you, Brendan Sokler.
God damn it. First always gets fucked. All right, gang. I'm going with first fight is 217 EST.
So 217, Stephanie Sotilli, what time are you picking for Closest to the Hole? And you
You're saying when the fight starts.
when the fight is walking to the ring. The first fight is
The
walking
first
to the
fighter
ring
walks
is
to the
at the
ring.
cage.
So the second their feet
Yes.
are on that.
On that rampway.
Okay. 213.
213. All right, Shaq. We've got 217, 213. Let us know in the chat what time you think this fight, the first fight of the night, Magomed Ankalaev going up against Volkan Oezdemir. What time do you think that fight's going to start? Charlene's saying 222.
Ooh.
Shaq, we've got 213 and 217 so far.
So
What are your things?
I know I usually try and go because it's closest without going over. So I know I try to go really high and hope that everyone else fails. But out of spite for Matt, I don't know what you're gonna pick. We got 217 and 213, and I'm gonna go 215 and leave you with very slim margins here. So Matt, what are you gonna do?
I am going to go 218.
Wow. Okay.
218 because the last fight of the prelims got out of the cage at 2:00.
Okay. Okay. I see you.
So it's a group effort here to keep. And then here's the trick. From now on, whoever wins, we always make Matt go first.
Yeah, that's science. Done. In the future, we're already enjoying it.
Yes.
As a thinker on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, fuck you.
Fuck you.
It's
fun here.
Matt Ryan. That's Brendan Sokler, Shakiel Mahjouri, Stephanie Sotilli. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Click the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, know when we are on the air every single month. We'll be back next week with an actual pay-per-view, UFC 268, from Madison Square Garden, the ancestral home of punching people about the face, neck, and
I am
chest.
so sad I'm missing
Yeah,
this.
I'm mad at you.
Yeah, you should be.
You have to go be in a play.
I gotta go be in a play. Look at me. Ooh.
Socialist.
Yep, absolutely. And
But we're taking a look at the ancestral home of Nurmal, Abu Dhabi. We are not on Fight Island, even though they call it Fight Island, and it is the official UFC 267.
Fight Island is where the heart is, Matt.
Maybe the island was there. It was inside of you all along.
The Fight Island is the friends we made along the way. That's really it.
And Hasbulla is there. Hasbulla is on Fight Island, and that gives me so much joy.
Yeah.
I know as much about him as I would know like a superhuman.
Dude,
Like just some.
Hasbulla is huge, man.
Yeah.
I put up a short on our YouTube channel. Go check it out. It's Hasbulla letting Dana know he's coming. He's coming to UFC 267. And I got to say, our editor was surprised when he woke up like not 18 hours later and that thing had 200,000 views. I talk to people who don't watch fighting, who know nothing, who could not name you more than Conor McGregor and maybe Nate Diaz.
Yep.
And they just name dropping Hasbulla. Doesn't even have to do with MMA anymore. Everyone loves Hasbulla.
Coming soon to the CW.
Jesus.
Really?
Speaking of CW, Paul Felder on our screen
Suggestion.
did some great acting work in Hacks.
Really?
Yeah, just want to give him
He was
a
in
little,
Hacks?
He was in Hacks. Just gonna give him a little plug-a-rooski there.
That's random. Good for
Yeah,
him.
it's very a significant character. But go check out Hacks.
Kyle
Real fucking
Johnson saying 223. So two of our audience guesses so far, 222, 223. Closest to all. Let us know in the chat what you think they're going to be starting out with. And this is one of those interesting cards that it's, if you're, a casual MMA fan, you don't follow along, you may not want to buy this, but it's free on ESPN Plus, so you're going to give it a flyer because the main event is so good. But for international fans, you have and this is so smart by the UFC in terms of matchmaking, drawing the biggest audience possible for an international card, making use of their international talent. And then you just have Teixeira and Blachowicz just being the selling point in the main event. There's a lot of good on this card, a lot of fun on this card. Like, this is going to be an exciting afternoon of fights. I'm so
conditioned. Nothing but decisions.
Oh, why would you say that?
Just to fuck with you.
Dirty Diago 92 saying 2:20:05.
Okay.
Interesting.
Getting down to the seconds there.
Yeah.
Ooh. No,
it's a dangerous game.
It's a beautiful card. It's a fun card. And the main event is just so damn juicy. Let's talk about Teixeira for a second. Has fought for the title before.
Yes.
2014 versus John Jones. How do you think he has evolved as a fighter since his last outing 7 years ago?
Well, you take a look at his recent wins. You know, his biggest wins have been against Anthony Smith, Ian Cutelaba, and Carl Roberts. And then you have that fight against Thiago Santos earlier this year. I mean, not earlier this year, but one of his more recent fights. In his last 5 fights, he's won 3 of them by submission. So that's really interesting for a guy whose knockout to submission ratio is 2-to-1. For every 2 people he's knocked out, he's submitted 1. That's really interesting.
Dangerous man on the ground. And at light heavyweight, having that sort of submission skill set is not the most common, I feel.
No, and also he's never been submitted. Blachowicz has been submitted once.
Yeah.
So that's like minuscule in theory, but in practicality, the fact that someone was able to get Blachowicz to submit when he's been able to submit 9 of his opponents, he's basically a 1.5 to 1 between it.
Yeah, and
submissions and knockouts.
What's interesting about this also is, like, when we get to main event title fights, often you do not have people with this many losses on their record, frankly. But it is something where they've evolved so much as fighters from that period of time where they were taking those L's and have learned what the holes in their game are and are as complete of fighters as they have ever been. These men are both very much in their prime right now, even though they are a bit older and in the dad class.
Yes.
Like, I think it's going to be a great fucking fight. I'm so excited.
Now, is this a daddy fight or a zaddy fight? Because I just need the clarification on which is which.
Well, I think it depends on what type of suits they were wearing to the pressers and whatnot. But I would go as far to say that Jan, zaddy, Glover, daddy. Let us know in the chat.
Yes, let us know. That's tonight's poll question. Brought to you by alcoholism. PJ Simpson asking, what round is Volkan going sleepy poo?
2.
Ooh, you know what? He's making. Well, we've got to walk to the cage. What time is it? 2:09. Oh no, this is a video package.
You lied to the people.
It's a video package, so we all got a shot here. I need this to be a 9-minute video package. Just 9 minutes of video package. Also, if we're talking about what time he gets knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Volkan, he's lost 4 of his last 6 fights by knockout.
I really want him to win. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Yeah. It's only.
But he also did, prior 2 fights were a decision, and he got KOs over Ilir Latifi, so he was able to knock a motherfucker out.
Yeah, and so Ilir Latifi, bad bitch. Like, yeah, I like that guy.
But when you talk about Ankalaev, he had 2 straight knockout wins over Ian Cutelaba. He's got 6 straight wins since his only loss to Paul Craig by submission. He has knocked out 9. He has knocked out 9 people.
A fight he was winning handedly until a last-second submission via triangle choke, 4:59 of round 3.
Thank you, Shaq, for that fact. That's spicy.
This man knows what he's doing.
This is what we call a showcase fight.
Yeah.
This is
UFC
match.
Oh, commercial break. Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
I mean, I need this too, but also I'm not happy about it.
Mohammed Tusif saying Dana is watching you. Hi, Dana.
Hi. Or like Dana White, or just like Dana.
Hi, Dana. Whichever one it is.
What if it's like a morally ambiguous Dana?
Have you heard
Dana
from the
Gray?
puppet lately? By the way?
No. I've heard that he's around and that he's always watching, apparently.
He sent me a Christmas card.
I'm seeing a walk.
You're seeing a walk. We're in a commercial. We're in a commercial right now, so if there's a walk, is there a walk?
It was a walk, and then it went to commercial again. And briefly, for a second, it showed Volk and Oezdemir walking in between the commercials. So I don't know what we're calling that.
That fucking count?
If you want to watch along with us, click the link in the description to watch along with us here tonight. Thanks to our friends over at ESPN.
Well, let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Kaylee Cuoco on the screen for us right now, just talking about Smirnoff, but
is that how you
she's
pronounce
muted.
that name?
Yeah, Kaylee Cuoco.
Yeah. Number one paid actress on television. Get it together.
Cuoco.
Cuoco.
All right.
Like you're about to say quotient?
Or Cloaca.
Yeah.
Coco?
What? We have gone off the goddamn rails here.
Get into a real Tony Tone situation, and I'm not a fan of it. I am a fan of Tony Tone, though. Mid-90s R&B, nothing?
Who?
God, you're white.
Yeah.
I'm Matt Ryan. That's Brendan Sokler on the other side of the glass. Along with our studio audience is Stephanie Sotilli. On the other side of the continent is Shakiel Mahjouri. And we are watching along with all 1,000 of you psychopaths. We're getting ready for our first fight of the night, live from Abu Dhabi. That smells tremendous. I can smell it.
It's really fucking good.
What are you drinking, Brendan?
I am drinking
2:00 in the afternoon.
I'm drinking Stellum Single Barrel Pick from Jews and Booze, a private whiskey group that I'm in. And this is their Don't Mess with the Zodram. Yeah, it's fun.
Ooh, PJ Simpson bringing a line, bringing in. Here's an interesting line. A round 2 TKO or stoppage is at plus 475.
Oh, no.
Oh, baby girl.
PJ, why you gotta hurt me like that? Frankly, it's the odds makers that are hurting me, but Jesus.
Yeah, that's good money, though.
That's some pretty good cheddar.
Dear, all right, hold on. I got to call somebody.
My bookie, gotta get in touch.
Hey, Doug, can you spot me 15?
Jesus. Even in your fantasies, you're needing to be spotted. Rough.
What do you think I do outside of this? This is like it. What else do I have in my life aside from Catalyst Wrestling next week? The Real Deal tickets available at catalystwrestling.com.
Good plug. I hear the ring announcer, most fuckable ring announcer in wrestling.
So I was
only one person who voted on that.
It was me.
It was you.
Yeah.
You started.
I started the poll. I was the only person that voted.
guys,
No one else knew about the poll. You just brought me. You brought your own plaque.
I
last.
said Bray Wyatt's baby mama.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been beat out. Yeah.
Dangerous game. Dangerous game.
Dangerous game.
And we have the tail of the tape. Ankalaev 29, Oezdemir 32. Ankalaev with a 1-inch height advantage, both coming in at 205.5 pounds, and also a 75-inch reach advantage across the board. And it is 214. So who won the pony?
So okay, so here's the issue here. Technically, if it's in my range right now, but they're already in the octagon with the tail of the tape playing. I'm pretty confident they made the walk under Sotilli's time.
So Steph wins. Steph wins.
So,
Big
You
win
won.
for Steph.
Oh my god, I don't know what to say. I don't want to thank my parents. They didn't do a damn thing.
well, they had sex on at least one occasion, so
Yeah.
you can-
And that's something we should all be thinking about.
And one of them not a cast member of Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
Who here? Brendan?
Yeah.
Did
And
you sleep-
Oezdemir
did you
getting
sleep with Ray
introduced
Romano?
right now. That's just an inside joke.
Me and Ray Romano.
Yes.
A lot of make it squish.
But Ankalaev being introduced right now. Ankalaev ranked at number 7th. He is the minus 320 favorite.
Brendan, you wanna fuck? That's my Ray Romano.
That was Kermit the Frog.
It's not far off. It's the way
It's
into
the
it.
same. It's the same person.
I've never seen them in the same place at the same time.
And we're getting ready for our first fight here. Opening fight of the afternoon at UFC 267. Mark Goddard is our referee. Thank God for that. And it is round 1 in a 205-pound division, light heavyweight division. Oezdemir against Ankalaev.
Hell
The
yeah.
floor of the venue looking like a high school gym in Paramus I was at once. And here we go with round number 1. Ankalaev circling the outside of the very bloody canvas of the octagon. Oezdemir controlling the center, 10 seconds gone by round number 1. No strikes as of yet. Oezdemir feigning to be the aggressor, steps back though when Ankalaev tried to step in. Pressuring Ankalaev closer to the cage here with just about 30 seconds gone by in round number 1.
Really a very slow feeling out process so far here, Matt. With Ankalaev coming in with a left and a right.
Yeah.
First shots thrown 30 seconds in.
And Oezdemir trying to use the similar reach to kind of keep a bear pawing at Ankalaev.
Ankalaev also managed to shoot straight up the middle and catch Ozdemir's chin, which I don't think is a very good omen for Oezdemir.
And Oezdemir keeping his hands really low, bouncing them up and down, steps inside, misses with a right, and then an overhand left, getting back to the center of the octagon. Ankalaev leading with his right, throwing a quick feint jab and then a low kick by Oezdemir. Oezdemir landing a shot, a couple of shots inside, gets an uppercut in, pressuring Ankalaev now. A head kick does not land. Ankalaev's back to the fence, jumping knee low bridge, and now into a grapple attempt. Ankalaev in trouble, the arm trapped by Oezdemir. Now in a chance to try to go to a Muay Thai stance. Now Oezdemir trying to hip toss Ankalaev, taking the knees out. At 3:30 left to go, an interesting 90 seconds so far in our opening contest. Both men pressed up against the fence. Ankalaev pressing into Oezdemir.
This is a great strategy right now to keep Ozdemir's hands away from Ankalaev's face. Just trapping them, making sure the blood rushes to them, making him have to work to even get out, which will slow down his pace.
And Ankalaev getting kneed in the thigh by Oezdemir. Oezdemir checking a knee of Ankalaev, changing position now and getting out of the grapple back into the center of the octagon. Ankalaev controlling the center, Oezdemir controlling the perimeter.
Tentative center of the octagon, big piles of nothing happening at present.
It's kind of like quick and in a hurry. It's like hurry up and wait in this fight so far. We've seen a lot of flurries, but not a lot of sustained action. Oezdemir controlling the center, a few feint jabs by Ankalaev. Both men leading with their right hands, switching up the stance. Oezdemir gets tagged a few times by that right hand of Ankalaev, kind of feint bear paw jabs, lands a right to Ozdemir's jaw as Oezdemir lands a shin kick on Ankalaev. 2:17 left to go, push kick by Ankalaev. In the center of the octagon, both fighters leading with the right, Ozdemir's down on the left. Oezdemir face down, ass up, gets right back up and misses a head kick. Does Ankalaev with 2:05 left to go in the round.
Looks like he more so slipped than got starched right there, but still not great if you have your money on Oezdemir.
He's certainly not mashed potatoes, but he was baked potato starchy for just a second or two. 1:50 left to go in round number 1. Ankalaev controlling the center of the octagon after getting the better of that exchange from Oezdemir and might steal the round here if things go copacetic for him in the next 100 seconds.
You have to question why Ankalaev didn't really follow up on that. He threw a head kick that missed, but I would be charging in were I him. But also, I'm not a professional fighter.
Well, he also knows that Ozdemir's knocked out 12 other human beings, so you don't want to take him lightly. Head kick blocked by Ankalaev. It was a light head kick leading in. Tried to throw a right, but Oezdemir ends up eating 2 of his own, and he gets that jaw checked again. Saw a little bit of the rubber band AI come out. 1:10 left to go in the round. Ankalaev in control. Oezdemir trying to tried to feint a combination and throw a leg kick, landed the leg kick, but back is towards the fence with 1 minute to go in the round.
Ozdemir's stance with his hands being so low, while effective for maybe Muay Thai and trying to get clinches and whatnot, seems to just have Ankalaev being able to shoot off that ready up the middle if he does straight jabs. And it's landing hard on Oezdemir.
44 seconds left to go. Matt Ryan, Brendan Sokler calling the action. Shakiel Mahjouri on the other side of the continent. Field goal kick attempt by Ankalaev goes wide right. Low kick attempt by Oezdemir gets pulled back with 32 seconds left to go in the round. And Ankalaev still maintaining a semblance of control, throwing a straight left, landing it on the jaw of Oezdemir. Oezdemir and Ankalaev still feigning with that right, leading with that right hand, switching the stance and landing a body kick. Did Oezdemir. 17 seconds left to go in the round.
Özdemir's nose is looking a little bit red as it's been bopped a couple times. I'm wondering if that's affecting his breathing at all.
Well, if you get your nose pushed into your head a couple of times, it'll fuck with your sinus cavity. Missing Oezdemir wide with that kick. Going Mike Vanderjagt on that, but not landing. And that's the end of round number 1. Brendan, your thoughts?
I mean, you have to give it to Ankalaev, and we're at a commercial break. You have to give it to Ankalaev, who was just shooting up the middle at ready, got a knockdown, may have been a slip, but it is going to count as a knockdown. I got to give it to him, and I'm a little bit worried for Oezdemir. As I was saying, if his nose has been affected by this, it's going to affect his breathing, which might affect his strategy, and certainly is going to affect his long-term prospects in this fight.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that. Shaq, what about you? What do you take from that?
Ankalaev.
Well, yes. I was looking for something a little more nuanced because I think we all agreed it was a 10-9 round for Ankalaev.
Yeah.
I'm like, our MMA expert, the man who works in the trenches every day.
Let me say,
the other guy did good.
So let me say, you know what? It appears like Volkov might have some damage to his nose, and if that's true, I worry about how it might affect his strategy, or at the very least, his long-term prospects in this fight. This is what you come to me for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm taking a look at someone asking on Facebook, what stream are we watching? We're watching ESPN Plus like adults. PJ Simpson saying, wet those whistles, lad. Round 2 is where it's at, and we are in round 2. So if you took that plus 435, you were holding that into that ticket within an edge of your life. Just about 10 seconds gone by. Pitter pats from both men so far. Low kick by Oezdemir. In the center of the octagon, Ankalaev trying to get inside. Overhand left thrown by Oezdemir, not landing. Ankalaev with a body kick. Overhead combination now into a Muay Thai clinch. And Ankalaev getting a couple of knees in before Oezdemir pulled out. And a shot to the right. And Oezdemir going, pulled the Nosferatu pose and tried to stay upright.
I mean, it is definitely the exact ass opposite of the beginning of the first round. Both men have found their range, and they are firing the fuck off.
Oezdemir missing with that head kick, spinning and pivoting like a karate fighter. 4:12 left to go. A kick to the thigh by Oezdemir.
I'm also curious why Oezdemir isn't throwing more leg kicks. He definitely, as he throws a leg kick, he's got his feet taped up. I'm assuming he would be thinking about throwing a few more of them.
And there's that leg kick. I think he was trying to find a rhythm. We were talking about range before. They both have the same amount of reach. It's 75 on each side. So trying to do that without getting pie gouged is like that quick combination from Ankalaev.
Yep, you're absolutely right, Matt. And right now, starting to throw more leg kicks. Maybe he listened to me. I'm obviously his coach.
And if he wins this fight because of your advice, you will be coaching him on the next season of The Ultimate Fighter. 3:30 left to go. Matt Ryan, Brendan Sokler, you know the gimmicks at the bottom of the screen. Another leg kick almost taking out the ankle of Ankalaev, trying to chop down the tree that it kind of concaved his nose.
I mean, I talk about it all the damn time, but if you take out a guy's legs, you take out his ability to get within range and to have speed or power. This is why leg kicks are really great if you're not Anderson Silva or Chris Weidman. And
let us know in the chat which fighter you wish you had the opportunity to see fight live once in your life. 3 minutes left to go in the round. Could be a fun conversation topic in the chat. Let us know. 2:55 left to go. Both men standing in the center of the octagon. Once again, playing a little bit of pity pat. Leg kick again by Oezdemir, missing with a right-left combination with punches towards the head of Ankalaev, leading with that right hand. It looked like Oezdemir might have hurt himself or tripped up on the canvas, and he was trying to push off that left leg. And you see Ozdemir's face starting to take the texture and complexion of meatloaf fresh out of the oven. 2:30 left to go. Checking another head kick is Ankalaev.
Yeah, if this was Pride rules, I'd say Oezdemir was losing. But since it's UFC rules, I'm going to say that Oezdemir is also losing.
Yes, but it's closer. Yeah. It's a closer level of losing.
Yeah.
Leg kick again by Oezdemir. He might leg kick his way to stealing this round if the judges aren't up to snuff. 2:09 left to go. Both of them checking leg kick attempts almost in a half can.
Ankalaev's stance is looking a little bit stiffer after all those leg kicks.
Yeah, I think he's not comfortable planting his foot or feeling loose. He's trying to tense up those muscles, tense up those bones, and there's another left hand by Ankalaev trying to make something happen here in round 2. And you see a lot of raspberry jam going down the body of Oezdemir as Ankalaev lands a hard left hook to the jaw of Oezdemir. Volkan Oezdemir in a lot of trouble here in the second round, even though he's been landing some solid shots with 90 seconds and change left to go in the round. Ankalaev looking a lot fresher of a fighter.
Truly, but Oezdemir is definitely more in this round than he was in the last one. And those leg kicks are adding up. This could be something where he gets into the third round and Ankalaev just doesn't have an ankle.
No. And now Ankalaev catching the kneecap and getting Oezdemir down, gets him in the Luther Campbell, now trying to take him back down to the ground, kneeing him in the tuchus. As Oezdemir trying to punch his way out of it with under a minute left to go in round number 2.
One of the most effective moves in MMA, the knee to the butt.
And let's take a look at these stats. 27-13 Ankalaev landing shots to Oezdemir's face, 11-3 in terms of body shots, but Oezdemir leading in leg strikes 14-5.
Yeah.
So if it's a long-term plan, this is not working well for Oezdemir. He needs to keep him at a distance and start chopping down that tree and try to take away the base of Ankalaev with 30 seconds and under 30 seconds, left to go in round number 2. And a lot of people with some betting slips are a little upset right now. And they're tried to get him down with a suplex to Ankalaev, but Oezdemir sandbagging the shit out of him.
You got to give credit to Ankalaev for what he's doing right now to Oezdemir's legs, because if you take out that hamstring and you keep kneeing the quad, it's going to be really fucking hard for you to throw a leg kick.
Yep. And also just draining him of energy, just draining him down. And we are at the end of 2 rounds, 10 minutes gone by, 5 left to go in this one. And it's a 10-9 round once again for Ankalaev. I think Oezdemir had a really good round. He was controlling the pace for a decent portion of it, but completely gave the round away.
Yeah, I mean, it's that stance, Matt. Like, he is just letting stuff come through his hands, and it is fucking up his eyes, fucking up his nose. It does not look good.
It ain't great.
An Oezdemir fan.
It ain't great.
Me as a Volkov Oezdemir fan.
Well, that's your fault.
Yeah.
You had your chance.
I had my chance.
Shaq, what'd you think?
Yeah, like you said, it seems like Vulcan's just being a little outclassed here, and I'm starting to feel like this is sort of the story of Volkan Oezdemir in the top 10, top 15 of the UFC light heavyweight division. It's a hard division to be in, and I don't know if it's just because these guys are big and strong, but it feels like Oezdemir just keeps getting paired up with these guys who can throw bombs, and Volkan can as well. I just think that he's a little more tentative than his opponents are being, and he's maybe a little chinnier than these other guys. So when he's fighting Yuri Prohaska and Ankalaev, it's hard, man. You're putting this guy through hell.
And he's already been through the wood chipper. Overhand right by Oezdemir, 15 seconds gone by in round number 3. Head kick by Oezdemir, looking to pull off an upset, try to take this one out of the judge's hands, take it out of Ankalaev's hands. 4:35 left to go in round number 3.
Oezdemir throwing a kick to the body of Ankalaev and gets a receipt. Ankalaev throwing a head kick, narrowly missing. That body kick looked mean, though.
Chris Martinez saying, you guys got any parlays? No, but check out my buddy Dave Mannion, _, on Twitter. That's DMANYUN _ on Twitter. His punch and parlay usually put you on the right road to where you want to go with that. And we'll also be throwing stuff up across the night in terms of odds, and Shaq will read them to us because he is in control of the master computer. 3:58 left to go in the round. Ankalaev feeling springy. Oezdemir looking to be fitted for a gold watch, a sweater, and a recliner right hand by Ankalaev. Clip-clopping Oezdemir, but Oezdemir still standing. Not better than he's ever been, though.
Yeah, Ozdemir's going to wake up with a fuck of a headache tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of shots to the head have been pretty impressive here, Matt.
Yeah. 3:33 left to go in the round. Matt Ryan joined by Brendan Sokler, and Ankalaev just controlling the tempo, knowing he's got the fight in hand, just not forcing anything, throwing a right.
You have Oezdemir shooting for a double leg, stuffed by Ankalaev in the middle of the ring.
Overhand right. Ooh, some solid shots from both fighters, but Oezdemir almost getting hit with a rabbit punch by Ankalaev because he was coming over the top with his right hand and clipped him on the top of the head.
Would that count as a disqualification if he got KO'd that way?
I think it would be a no contest.
Okay.
Ooh, and catching the leg kick and throwing a left-right combination is Ankalaev.
I mean, there's something to be said about the pace that Ankalaev is doing right now, in that he's reserving his energy and then throwing bombs. And he knows he can hit Oezdemir, and it's happening.
Shout out to Rye Chad joining us in the chat and throwing a wave. 2:31 left to go in the round.
Oof. Ankalaev with a left and a right to Oezdemir.
standing right in the center of the octagon, coming through with the left foot, missing, just kind of pushing Ankalaev's hand away. Leg kick by Oezdemir, 2:18 left to go in the round.
If I'm Volkan Oezdemir, I would start throwing some shit right now.
Yeah.
Like he is losing 3 rounds to 0 right now.
Stiff right hand by Ankalaev to the jaw of Oezdemir, and Oezdemir just kind of backing away, his hands way too low for my liking. That might be where he feels comfortable throwing punches, but punches are hitting him right in the face.
Yeah, he looks like a rock'em sock'em robot in that stance rather than someone trying to protect their head.
And someone's head is about to go sploing. A head kick attempt by Ankalaev.
Protects the meat. That's what you do. You got to do a sandwich.
140 left to go. Another right-left combination by Ankalaev. 96 seconds left to go in the round, trying to feint something. Right hand, right left combination by Ankalaev, sending Oezdemir bouncing off the cage. And pinballing is not something you want to do when you're down 2 rounds to nothing and there's under 90 seconds left to go. This is looking worse and worse for Volkan Oezdemir.
Yeah, I mean, we have a minute, 20 seconds or so, and Oezdemir looks gassed, looks scared, frankly. Yeah. He's been hit in the face a lot.
I don't think scared, just, resigned.
Yeah.
Resigned would probably be the more proper term for that. 1 minute and change now, exactly 1 minute remaining in the third and final round. Ankalaev has this one in hand. He's just got to play it smart here for the next 53 seconds. Keep that pace. And Ankalaev almost getting caught by Oezdemir, but dipped out of the way. And Oezdemir dipping out of the way. Ankalaev landing 58 of 110, significant strikes, 53%. Oezdemir 30 of 86, 35%. That is the opposite of good. When you're going up against someone like Ankalaev and another right hand, you can see the right under the right eye, the right cheek has the complexion of raw steak right now. Another right, that's just straight right going right underneath the eye.
It's too fast for him. It's too fast, and his hands are too fucking up.
The rhythm of it is just bang. It's just bang, and it's so good. Now 10 seconds left to go before we go to the scorecards. And now just to make the insult to injury, Oezdemir tried to pull a guillotine and now doing the Conor McGregor shoulder strikes, and that one will be ending the fight. And Ankalaev tried to take him down, maybe to score some last second points.
Yeah, I am pretty sure that Ankalaev won this.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out to the
But
wind.
it is Fight Island.
But it is Fight Island, and we did have a referee thrown out.
Yeah, we had a referee
shitty decisions. So who's to say? Another commercial for this flippy smartphone.
Yeah.
Cool. Love it.
That's the only ones I believe that they're I think that's the only advertiser today for them, and it's BTS.
Sure as shit feels like it. It's almost as much BTS as you see on your screen. As my middle name's Thomas. Hey. It's very confusing. Yeah.
Mainly because K-pop fans
get me confused with that.
All five
of them collectively.
I'm Matt Ryan. That's Brendan Sokler. Steph, how you feeling across the room?
Oh, good. Full of coffee.
Ooh. But we're getting ready. It's 30-27s across the board. It has to be. Let us know if you're watching along at home, or if we were clear enough for you and you can see just a cut right on the left eyebrow of Volkan Oezdemir.
I honestly thought he was cut underneath the eye.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the worst place to get a cut. And it is one of the most common, is right above that eyebrow as you get the blood dripping down into your eye. I don't know if any of you out there in the chat have had blood in your eye. It makes it hard to see.
Yes, that would any viscous or liquidy substance.
Peanut butter, Nutella, Gatorade. We have fun here.
That's you know what? I don't kink shame. Let's go to the official decision. Joe Martinez will be reading it off. We go to the scorecards here in Abu Dhabi. It's 30-27 across the board and 29-28.
What? How?
Someone gave Volkan Oezdemir a round, but a unanimous decision win for Magomed Ankalaev. It should have been 30-27 across the board, but somehow it was not.
Yeah.
It was 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. I mean, Magomed Ankalaev getting the win.
You could, in theory, give the second round to Oezdemir.
You could, how?
If you really fucking love leg kicks the way that I do, and you don't count punches to the face damaging the fuck out of someone.
How is that even like?
Who's to say? Who's to say? What the shit?
And also, if you want to follow us on social media, you can follow me at MRyan Consulting. You can follow Brendan Sokler at Brendan Sokler. You can follow Shaq at Shaq_Fu. And you can follow Stephanie Sotilli on Twitter at Steph Sotilli. And also follow her on TikTok, because every day in the month of October, Steph has been watching horror movies and enduring them for our humor and entertainment. Steph, what's today's movie?
Today's movie will be The Loved Ones. A crazed teenage girl captures and tortures a boy that rejected her. So, a good for her type of film.
Nice. And Koba asking, how did you get peanut butter in your eyes?
Sensually and slowly. Ooh.
Got gum in his hair.
Yeah, lots.
Rashid asking, when is Dam versus Islam? We are 2 fights away from that one. Dan Hooker versus Islam Makhachev, which is going to be a banger and a half.
A banger and a half. All right.
But coming up next, it is Hazmat Chimaev going up against Leech Lang.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I didn't want to attempt it, so kudos.
But Chimaev undefeated. His last 2 wins over Gerald Mearshart and Reese McKee were by TKO or KO. All the others have been by submission or stoppage. Every single fight of his has had a stoppage in it. So if you're betting the over in this fight,
don't bet on a decision.
Yeah, don't. Bet
I mean, on
yeah, don't bet it going to the scorecards.
Yeah, that one. That's the thing. The voids.
Oh my God.
What happened, Shaq?
So I'm not super read up on my Hasbulla history, so I might be wrong here, but it appears. I'm gonna switch the corner cam here, so you guys can see my Twitter feed. It appears that the guy that Hasbulla is supposed to be fighting is also at UFC 267 on Fight Island, throwing some crisp-looking jabs to the camera. Conor McGregor up in his suit and even threw the little Undertaker death sign for the camera. Isn't that something? I love him.
This is going
nice hair.
Yeah,
looking sharp.
He looks like a tiny Paul Sorvino. I love that.
I was gonna say he looks like Oscar De La Hoya a little bit because of the hair and the suit.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong on that. But also, what's up, Paul? I did a King Lear with that guy.
You did King Lear with Paul Sorvino?
I sure did. So it was a reading where he had rewritten it to be a railway baron.
Cool.
Yeah.
Welcome to Theater Talk with Matt and Brendan. But we're moving on here at UFC 267. It is 170 pounds of action coming at us next. It's Leech Lang, who's 18-6, going up against Hazmat Chimaev at 9-0. A lot of people have been comparing his style to Khabib Nurmagomedov's. This is going to be interesting to see what he does in this fight, going up against a guy who just knocked out Santiago Ponzinibbio. He got a unanimous decision loss to Neil Magny. Mm-hmm. That is that's good, but it's not great.
Yeah, not great. I mean, not to knock Neil Magny, but
so he could kill us.
Oh yeah. To be clear, every one of these fighters, other than Hasbulla, I will fucking take you on, child. But any other one could probably kick our ass.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But the deeper this fight goes, Chimaev, as we said at the top of the show, suffered 2 bouts of COVID-19. We don't know how much that will affect his wind, but also Leech Lang, when it comes to...
Does that make it a COVID-38?
Yeah, baby. Shout out to Wilk from the Polish Mountains joining us here tonight.
So I would like to chime in. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Jack, what do you got?
And just say, despite our concerns, Hazmat is currently a minus 500 favorite.
Good God.
Which to me seems super disrespectful to Li Jingliang. You would need to place a $500 bet on Hazmat just to turn out $100. That seems like a terrible bet to me tonight.
Well, the line could be juiced too. His fan, he's got a very vocal and verbal fan base, and he is someone who's really turned into one of the more popular fighters in the UFC, for an international audience. And you take a look at that, and then you take a look at Xi Lang. He is not a sexy bet, so they could be flooding the line.
Here's a question: would you take, because these are interesting odds? I think they're quite narrow. Good chance of profit either way. Would you prefer to take the under 1.5 rounds at plus 115, or the over 1.5 rounds at minus 145?
The over, I think. But I also don't generally bet, as I believe that you can just get whiskey with money and you're guaranteed something good, as opposed to betting.
Dude, I made a commitment at the start of this year. I'm like, I'm going to try. I hate betting on fights. We got Patrick Sundberg's amazing betting guide over at MMA Mania. Also, year over year turning out a profit. I'm like, I'm gonna give this a try, see if there's something here. Bless him. He was doing terribly for the first few months. Almost tanked the amount of money I put in my account. I'm like, all right, sorry, Pat, I love you. I'm not willing to add more money to this. You failed me, sir. I went over to another colleague's betting guide, won all my money back. Then that one started tanking, and in that period of a couple of months, Patrick turned his $600 investment now into $2,500, and I'm like, and I did not reap any of those rewards. So I humbly have come back to Patrick, hoping he can dig me out of this hole. I'm going to give it one more shot next year, Patrick, and I promise I'm going to stick with you from start to finish. Because if I had, I would have been able to buy a whole round of whiskeys for everybody here. But,
okay,
you're
now
we're
mad.
mad.
Yeah,
now we're mad. Now we're mad.
It's like changing lanes on the highway. Just stick it out, brother.
I really feel it, man. It was a mistake. Although when you learn the traffic patterns in your area and you can sort of when an exit's coming up and you can navigate, I got a sick thrill out of counting how many cars I'm passing by with my passing skills. So.
And this has been Shaq's traffic talk.
Yes. Traffic and weather on the 10s here.
I'm going to throw out a weird theory for both of you. I believe UFC fighters with giant ass beards have better chins because of it. Roy Nelson really didn't get knocked out for a million years. Had that fucking huge ass beard.
What's your thoughts on airline food?
Airline food? What?
So excited to be back. I'm sorry to say
he is jumping. He is ready to just fight somebody.
He is thrilled. Look at him. He's smiling ear to ear. He's high-fiving everyone. He's screaming at people.
I get to hurt another human being. This is the best job in the world.
If I may, while we're there, can we just briefly touch on Sean Strickland going on Ariel Helwani's show and basically being like, I train and I fight, and then I go straight home because otherwise I would murder someone, because there's nothing I crave more in this world than to experience a sensation of killing another person with my bare hands, to the point where he used to go out of his way to try and incite violence so he could kill someone under the pretense of self-defense. What on earth?
Put him in a facility.
What on earth?
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's not.
Isn't that so much? And poor Ariel Helwani is sitting here as he digs into his traumatic,
what I was thinking,
neo-Nazi roots. Wild.
Yeah, it's not something where the stats on MMA fighters and domestic abuse issues are right below football players. Yeah. Neither are good, and that worries me as someone who also had admitted that he was a neo-Nazi in the past. Sean Strickland, not my favorite fighter. Also, would not want to meet him in a dark alley.
Oh God, no. Especially not after this conversation.
I know UFC fighters make less than 20% of what the UFC makes annually. So do we have to put together a GoFundMe to get this man a social worker?
Well, I'll give him the tiniest
handles.
I will, for the sake of being fair. He did say that he was very regretful of the neo-Nazi stuff, that it was influenced by his Nazi sympathizer grandfather, and that he grew out of it. So I will put that out there because I want to be fair to him. But man, what a uncomfortable experience that must have been for anyone who had to do the interview, let alone Ariel, who of course has Jewish roots. I'm sure that must have had some sort of personal.
None of that's good though. He said he wants to go out and kill people after he trains.
Before.
Can we get someone to give him a hug? Like maybe like
No.
Don't get in range, man.
Fair enough. A hugging machine then. Some sort of like Zoom therapy. Like it's been very good for me. And I'm me.
When you say hugging machine, I think of that video of Carson Daly hugging like 45 bets in like a minute. And I'm like, I guess we can send Carson Daly to hug Sean Strickland.
That's that's an equitable trade.
Yeah, I'm willing to make that sacrifice.
Can we throw out our predictions for this fight?
Chimaev, it's gonna go 2.5.
I got it in the first round to Chimaev via strikes after a brutal takedown against the cage.
I am going. I think some sort of decision or ground and pound is the right call. Just to rile people up, though, I'm gonna call for the upset. I'm gonna go Li Jingliang, first round knockout, and it's just going to blow up headlines. And then I've got a second. If you go to MMAmania.com, I got one story out exclusive of Li Jingliang. Now the second one's gonna do really good traffic. So I do this selfishly, people. I do this selfishly.
Well, we're doing it for the clicks here. That's Shakiel Mahjouri. Over here, it's Matt Ryan and Brendan Sokler. On the other side of the glass, it is Stephanie Sotilli, and we're getting ready for our second fight of the night at 170 pounds. Whatever kilos that is. It is Hazmat Chimaev at 9-0 going up against the 18-6 Li Jingliang. Yeah. If someone tries to start a car outside of my window. Liang 33, Chimaev 27. Chimaev with a 2-inch height advantage, both coming in at 171. But the big story here, gentlemen, Chimaev with a 75-inch reach to Jingliang 71.5. So utilizing that jiu-jitsu will be hard when you have to reach 4 inches further.
Yeah, it doesn't. When you look at the tail of the tape, it doesn't bode well. And when you look at the records, it doesn't bode well. I feel like as much as we were saying this is going to be a tough test for him, watching Chimaev walk around the cage right now, he does not seem like someone who just had to take several months off due to COVID twice. This might be a murder, and not like a Sean Strickland type murder, but who's to say? Us.
Yes, that is.
Yeah, we are the authorities on this sort of thing. But hey, it's MMA, and MMA math means jack shit, as we've discovered over the years, and as Shaq's wallet discovered.
And if you like what you're watching, we've got a subscriber goal today of 135,000, and we're getting closer and closer to that goal. We want you to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, ring that like button, and ring the notification bell as well. It'll be first round of action here, Chimaev versus Li Jingliang, and this one's going to be a barn burner. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. And here we go with round number 1. Both men stepping into the center of the octagon. Chimaev shooting immediately, catching Jingliang around the waist lock, reverse waist lock. Now trying to get him down, getting him closer to the cage as Chimaev gets him down, and we're rumbling early here, trying to pull a submission, now backpacking Li Jingliang.
He's got him up against the cage and taken down, and if he starts throwing strikes, my prediction, there we go.
Yep, and here's the Luther Campbell into side control, now trying to get back into a standing position. Chimaev has the back of Li.
He carried him to the cage.
Yeah.
You have to wonder if that took any out of his gas tank, but he's just firing off shots right now in a kneeling position to Li's face.
And now just inside, and now almost pulling a bulldog choke was Li, but Chimaev holding on for dear life in that reverse waist lock, now trying to pull it into side control. Jingliang in a prayer position, knees down, right on the canvas, and now his head being dug in there, doing basically a yoga pose as he tries to find a way out of this, and left hands of Hazmat Chimaev are finding his jaw. Just left hands to the face. Li Jingliang trying to post up on that right hand and get back to a standing position. but he is stuck in a T-bow, and now Chimaev just dragging him, both men by on their knees, just scooting him along, carrying him like a bag of laundry across the octagon, and now has the back again and leveling strikes against Lee.
This looks like RNC is going to be coming through anytime now. You already have Chimaev has one of the legs hooked. It's brutal, the level of grapple fucking that is happening here.
And now just left hands to the face of Lee. 3:09 left to go on the round, and it is a long way to Tipperary for Li Liang. And now the back, Chimaev has the back and now has the right leg draped across the back and midsection of Lee. Lee trying to fight off the submission attempt, sliding through effective submission defense, but again, just grapevining the body is Chimaev. Chimaev grapevining with the legs around the midsection of Lee. This one's going to be stopped. 2:38 left to go with impunity. The right hands going to the head. Li Liang is not able to defend himself. This one keeps going here. Lee trying to find a way out of it. He is huddled up. He is turtled underneath the leg of the Chimaev, and now the RNC is pulled, and Lee trying to fight out of it, trying to pull out of it with 2:16 left to go in the fight. Lee, the life draining from his eyes as he's trying to find a way out of it. Hooking the legs of Lee is Chimaev, pulling them around, just using his knees on the hips to hold on to this one. 2 minutes exactly now, pressing his face against the fence, and now back in, changes positions, changes arms, and still locked in, and Lee not submitting. Lee trying to find a way to fight out of this, but you see his face beginning to turn purple. That's it, it's over, and Hazmat Chimaev gets his 10th victory and his 4th submission in a drubbing of Zhiliang Lee.
Oh, dude, this guy's a badass.
Lee's out. Lee is out. He is cooked.
Yeah, he did not have the level of consciousness to tap. Put to sleep was he. This should have been called with the strikes, frankly. Like, he was not.
This fight should have stopped 45 seconds before it was stopped.
Which is so many fucking unanswered shots to the head. I don't love to see it, frankly. And I'm pissed at the fucking ref. And I'm pissed that they ruined my prediction, but more so for the fighter's safety. Chimaev, though, putting on a masterclass.
Yeah.
Like, nothing that Lee threw in there did shit. Did he get a strike?
Well, we'll have to check the stats in a second, but it all started in the first 20 seconds of the fight. Just that shoot into the waist lock, reverse waist lock, and we're seeing it here on the replay. Just being able to ground the freaky power of being able to pick up someone your own body weight, someone more muscular than you, just dragging them across the cage and slamming them down while maintaining that grip is insane.
I'm shocked. On a variety of levels. It was like he was carrying a 125er, like no resistance. And it is incredibly hard to do that, particularly to keep that going. Jesus fuck, that was insane. Also, it should have been called, the fuck were you doing, ref? My God.
Quality Fight Island officiating. Shout out to PJ Simpson donating $10 to the cause. Thank you, my friend. And then we see Hazmat's entire team storming the cage in celebration.
You know, we didn't even really get to check my beard theory because he didn't get hit, really.
It's a well-shaped beard.
Yeah, no, good for him. Good for him and his face.
Mudini saying total domination. Yeah, that was a drubbing.
Yeah,
by Hazmat Chimaev.
What a kicking of ass.
Yeah.
My God.
And we've got another big boy fight coming up next. We've got the heavyweight division, Marcin Tybura taking on Alexander Volkov. And if you know me, you know I love it when the large men beat each other.
Yep. Yep.
You know, we smell our own.
We love Tybura. We love Volkov. This is going to be great. This is the man who did a shoey.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, love him. Hope we see more of that. Hot diggity fuck. Yeah. This should have been a KO or TKO, but
It is going to be considered a submission.
It's going to be considered a submission. I'm surprisingly standing right now.
He got his wits about him during the commercial break. They smelling salts him or something. And in 3:16, of round number 1, Hazmat Chimaev getting the win. And PJ asking, is the hype for Boers legit? Yeah, it is legit. It is legit. Pulling the RNC and Chimaev going immediately to the microphone, doing the polite take from Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
What a fight for Hazmat Chimaev.
I mean, what a win and what a personal victory to come back from 2 bouts of COVID to whoop that ass like that, to the point that who watches this for a living, was a little uncomfortable, frankly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, you got to put him in line for a title shot, right?
He's in the neighborhood now. Shaq, what do you think?
I'm gonna mute myself here. I was just listening to the post fight. So during that fight, Hazmat, when he picked up Li Jingliang, he actually took him over to Dana White so he could start having a chat with the president while he was beating up on Li Jingliang.
I think I can get a title fight now, Dana. I'm just gonna beat on this man because you hired a shitty ref.
Insane.
Give me my money. Give me my money.
He walks him over there and tells Dana, "I'm the king. Do you believe me now? I'm going to be here for a long time." So
he also said, I took him over to Dana and started reenacting the Maurice Wiggs scene from Goodfellas to prove a point.
Yeah, listen, Hazmat's the real deal. We said it, right? If he comes in here and he can bounce back from his long layoff, and he did to the number 11th ranked guy in the welterweight division what he did to everybody last year, and there's no, it's not like the Leech looked any better than any of those other guys did. So, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. This is like Brock Lesnar-esque, the way he's just coming up here and mopping it up. But he's doing it at 2 super competitive divisions, particularly at welterweight. You got to give him a big fight next. I don't think after this you can sort of slow it down and have him fight like Jeff Neal or Bilal Muhammad. I think you give him a top 5 guy next. You give him a Wonder Boy or a Vicente Luque.
I would love to see him versus Luque. I think that would be. I think it'd still be a drubbing.
Yeah, I think any of those fights. Rocketman 313 saying, has Hasbulla made his appearance yet? We've seen him on social media. We've not seen him on camera as any of the dignitaries. And they're showcasing next week's rematch between Zhang Weilei and Rose Namajunas. That will be a part of the card at Madison Square Garden as Kamaru Usman looks to do the right thing and send Colby Covington back to Florida. On pay-per-view next Saturday night. I'll be here. Shaq will be here. Steph will be here. Brendan will be in Florida because we have to do one Floridian leaves, another has to come back. Luckily, we got a use exemption for Steph, but Brendan has to go back to Florida because he graduated from the U, and we couldn't. Something with Manny Diaz, we couldn't figure it out.
It was honestly, The Rock gave me a call and it was just like, Brendan, can you be in this play? And I said, Rocky, yes. Since I won't be here next week, I just want to say Colby Covington, piece of shit.
This check in the chat, Evan Digney saying Nate Diaz will be offered the fight as he only has 1 fight left on his deal. Would we see Nate Diaz versus Hazmat? Do you think that they would? Do you think that they're already looking to offer this fight to Nate and he's like, no, fuck you. I'm not doing that.
Were I Nate, I wouldn't take the fight. But also, does Nate Diaz turn down fights for reasons other than money? I would be terrified if I was in the welterweight division. The only person I can see beating him is Usman right now, and that's in doubt. Even it's insane what he just put on. Clinic, Maddie.
Yeah. That was some highly good mixed martial arting. Like that was some solid mixed martial arting. Evan saying Nate will say no, so the UFC will be able to extend his contract. So that, you know what, Nate playing games like that, playing against the machine has done him well. It's benefited him financially. Yeah. And he's saying Evan saying that they don't want Nate to leave on a win. Jay DeMullis on Facebook saying Hazmat versus Gilbert Burns. Now that's
a banger.
Yeah,
that's a little sexy. I'd take it.
Yeah, Shaq, what do you got?
Tag it,
So
Shaq.
I was just looking at Scott Fontana of the New York Post. So I didn't hear this myself, but he said that he thinks he just heard Hamzat Chimaev, who did say perfectly during his interview, during his post-fight interview with Daniel Cormier, that he's here to kill people. They said he'd kill people. He's killing people. Apparently, it sounds to Scott Fontana like Hamzat Chimaev wants that Sean Strickland smoke. Look at that. Put him in there. Let him murder. Get out there.
Give me that fight. Give me that fight. You know what? We don't even have to do it we could do it at the Garden next week. We could do it in the parking lot over on 34th and 8th. The one that charges $50 an hour. We could do it. We could do it anywhere. I would be down to watch that fight. I would be down to see that happen and Sean Strickland go up against another legitimate crazy person who was a wood chipper with legs.
I will ask, Hamzat's been sort of fluctuating between welterweight and middleweight as part of his appeal. But do you think at this point, now being a ranked guy at welterweight, maybe it's best if he keeps his focus on one division because he could really accelerate to a title shot right now?
I'd say right now his best path to a title is at 170.
Yeah.
So you stay at welterweight, you find your way to middleweight at some point. Like the welterweight division, if Colby loses this fight, which more than likely he will, it turns into who's next. And if Chimaev gets a big win in his next fight, we can see.
The thought of Kamaru Usman versus Hamzat Chimaev blows my mind. I have so many questions about how that would go, and my hunch is it's gonna be super exciting, whatever happens.
Agreed. It is now for me a dream fight, and as was pulled from the chat, that Burns fight makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah, you have fun there. It's a comparable position, Shaq. I mean, like, Burns, I feel, gave Usman his best run for his money. One might be able to argue Covington. I'd argue that he got his chin taken away. But Shaq, what do you think of Hazmat versus Burns as a possibility?
I think that's a really good fight. I think super highly of Gilbert Burns. I think in this run versus Kamaru Usman, he did get outclassed afterwards, but he is the person who's come the closest to dethroning Usman in his latest run. I think for my liking, you could definitely do that. I do think with Hamzat, you have such potential here to basically create the next Khabib. You also have it with Islam Makhachev, so the UFC is in a really good position right now. I say maybe give him someone in the 4 to 6 range. So that's Vicente Luque, Wonderboy, or Michael Chiesa. I don't know who's booked right now for what.
I'd watch that Chiesa fight.
Yeah. Well, actually, the Luque just beat Chiesa. So I think, let me math this out. You have Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington 2 coming up. You got Jorge Masvidal versus Leon Edwards. If Leon wins that fight, he's getting the next title shot, I would imagine. But who knows with Leon at this point?
Yeah.
I like the idea of Vicente versus Hamzat. And if Hamzat wins that, you cannot deny him a title fight. And here's the other thing, too. I think it just further builds the excitement. Gilbert Burns, I think Gilbert Burns has a better chance at beating Hamzat Chimaev than Vicente Luque does.
I'd agree.
So I would pair up Vicente and Hamzat if I were the UFC, just to sort of give Hamzat a better chance of getting a title shot. And by that point, I think it's going to be a huge fight.
Now, he and Makhachev are same camp? Yes, no, maybe?
They're bearded and from that region of the... Actually, that's not entirely true. Although Hamzat is of Dagestani origin, I think. I apologize, I got that wrong. He actually lives and fights out of, I think, Sweden.
Yeah, he's a gold medalist in wrestling.
Yeah, with Gustafsson, I think. So I don't think him and Makhachev train together. I don't know if there's any cross contamination that happens, but I think he's working with the Mahler's team.
That's certainly an interesting fight as well. If we wanted to fuck around and find out.
Get Islam to welterweight, yeah, man, that'd be insane.
Yeah, it's a little sexy. But
can you pass me the?
People are asking how long till the event starts. It's been starting, bro. We're 2 fights
we're
deep into the main card.
Baby girls.
You try it without Coke first, though. Try it without. It's so smooth.
Yeah, I'm.
Oh, that is smooth.
Yeah.
Chechnya. Someone's trying to say Chechnya. Chechnya.
Don't even need it, baby. It's so good.
He's Chechen, huh?
Again, I think that's right because Kadyrov was like basically like, "Hey, we're gonna murder you if you don't fight again."
Oh,
well, so basically, what happened? If memory serves correct, Hazmat came out with a retirement post because he was dealing with so much long-term health issues from his Rona, and he said, "I'm retiring." And then Kadyrov comes out and is like, "Nah, you ain't retired."
We want you to keep going.
Ooh, yeah.
That's not good.
Dark as hell.
Yep.
Fun
world we live in. Fat guy fights next. Marcin Tybura going up against Alexander Volkov in our co main event.
This is a 6-fight.
Yeah, it's a 6-fight card.
What the dick fart?
It's a middle of the day show. It's 3:00. We're 2 fights in. That's on par.
Yeah. It is a thing.
Do you have like a boat appointment after this?
I do.
You have to buy a boat?
I have to buy a boat.
How big's the boat?
I mean, about 2 feet wide.
Oh, it's a toy boat.
Yeah, no, it's very, very small.
If you like what you're seeing, please follow us across social media. Please like, comment, and subscribe as well. We are waiting on our next match, Alexander Volkov versus Marcin Tybura in the heavyweight division. Tybura walking in with a 5-fight winning streak, including 2 straight knockouts of Walt Harris, a good human, and Greg Hardy, who's Greg Hardy. The last loss on Tybura's record was a 2-fight KO loss ending a 2-fight KO loss to Augusto Sakai.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, Greg Hardy, piece of shit. We have fun.
Yes, we do. Checking in on Alexander Volkov, coming off a unanimous decision loss to now a UFC interim heavyweight champion Cyril Gane in June, ended a 2-fight winning streak over Walt Harris, a common opponent, and Alistair Overeem. And I believe Volkov was Overeem's last opponent in the UFC before he went back to Glory and then decided he didn't want to fight in Glory anymore.
Yeah, it was inglorious. But yeah, I mean, this is one of those fights where I'm gonna be sad when one of them loses. I like both of these guys quite a bit. I think my heart has to go to Tybura though, because shoeys and knocking out pieces of shit like Greg Hardy.
Brutus Ludus saying Hazmat would eat everyone at 170, maybe not Usman. That's the fight I want to see, but we're not anywhere near that fight yet, unless Covington gets dropped in 96 seconds and we need something for the end of the year. Yeah, I mean, you want to build up the recognition on this guy. This is why he's on a free fucking card. It's great booking on the UFC's part. You might just want to have him face another high-profile guy. If Masvidal wins, maybe throw him against Chimaev. Yeah. Ooh, little sexy that idea. I'm not against it. Yeah, I like it. Fuck it. Do we have any predictions on this fight, Matt? Sorry, but I need to see that. Oh, the bottom there. Yeah. The bottom there. Yeah. Owen asking, give me the results so far. So if you look in the description, the results are updated throughout the night by lovely and talented Stephanie Sotilli. Yeah. But Magomed Ankalaev took a unanimous decision over Volkan Oezdemir. And in our last fight, Leech Liang got his clock and all other timepieces clean in the first round by Hazmat Chimaev, but somehow lost via submission because the referee didn't stop the fight 45 seconds earlier. Yep. It made me fucking uncomfortable. I've said it before. I'm going to keep saying it. That shouldn't have fucking happened. No. And if we're going to be in the business of pulling referees, fuck that guy. I'm mad about it. Yeah, I mean, listen, when you enter in an MMA cage, your life is in the hands of not only your opponent, but also the referee. Yeah. They are the first line of defense against really terrible things happening. Yes. That would be do your fucking job. You are the third person inside that octagon for a reason. Yep. And I can only imagine the Twitter scuttlebutt if Shaq is able to pull any notable things from that fight from some MMA luminaries. We'll talk about that as we are in a commercial on ESPN Plus, which is funny. Yeah, it's not haha funny, but it is funny.
I'll scroll through Twitter and put some stuff up while you guys are talking.
Oh, please do. We love to see the Twitterverse and Want to know what Hezbollah is up to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, you're normal.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see.
Ali Banuni asking, can anyone please answer that? Haha, I'm nervous that I'm late. No need to be nervous. Answer what?
Answer what though?
Life's great questions.
Yeah. 42.
5. That's thick.
So thick. Fuck.
Take a look at the tail of the tape here. Speaking of thick, Tybura 35, Volkov 33. Volkov at 6'7", Tybura at 6'3". Volkov outweighing Tybura 263 to 249, and Volkov with the reach advantage, obviously, 80 inches to 78 inches.
Yeah, I mean, tail of the tape says this is a uphill battle for Tybura, but
Marcin Tybura, who came first, second, and fifth in a Joe Gacy lookalike contest.
God damn it, that's strikingly accurate.
It's like if Lars Sullivan and Joe Gacy did the fusion dance from Dragon Ball Z.
You know, we could just say made a baby, but yeah, sure, I'll take it.
I like the idea of them just doing the. I like the motion of the fusion dance,
and I like the idea of those boys making squish. I don't know. The drinks flow.
Steph,
so do the
help
quips. Horrified, everyone in the room.
I've never heard that in my life. It's such a visceral word to use.
If that's ruined sex for you, let us know in the comments down below. Volkov, the -310 favorite according to DraftKings. Stepping in tonight, 6'7", 263 pounds. He does not have a posse, but he is walking in 33-9, coming off a unanimous decision loss. Tybura got the wins, but when you talk about quality last opponent, Cyril Gahn, or as opposed to Walt Harris or Greg Hardy, there is a certain level there. And Mark Goddard, thank God, is our referee.
Thank fuck. Mark Goddard, what a wonderful and handsome fella. You keep doing the Lord's work.
Volkov in black, Tybura in red, and our third contest of the afternoon. And here we go in Abu Dhabi. Both men standing in the center of the octagon. Tybura just throwing hands off rip, body kick by Volkov. Volkov stepping in with a downstairs right, upstairs left. And now both men just throwing the leather here.
Ooh, this one's starting off hot and heavy, Matt.
They said, fuck the line. We're running right on in. And both men just throwing at each other just with
bombs.
Just impunity. Word of the day, as always. 4:30 left to go in the round. Standing in the center of the octagon is Tybura. Volkov throwing a really low overhand left. Slumping down is Volkov to get to Tybura's height, even though there's a 5-inch height advantage for him. He is not using his limbs effectively. His hands are down. Tybura's hands closer to his face, and a couple of shots. We got a firefight, fighting in a phone booth. Sloppy technique there from both fighters, overhand left by Tybura after missing with that right to the body. And Volkov on his bicycle early, backing away from Marcin Tybura.
Yeah, this is a gunslinger moment that we're having here, Matt. Both men throwing heavy, and Tybura seemingly finding Volkov's chin pretty easily. Yeah. You'd think with the height advantage and the reach advantage, it might be a little harder, but...
Well, he's keeping his hands low, and then some lefts and rights by Volkov not landing, Tybura having his hands up. Volkov bending down almost at the same height, slouching, body kick not landing by Volkov.
It's like when a tall person tries to give you a hug.
Yeah. It's exactly what it is. It's that sort of looming, like, weird cousin at Thanksgiving. And now trying to get the Muay Thai clinch was Tybura, but Volkov fighting his way out of it. Looking tired here, breathing heavy is Volkov, not even at the halfway point of round number one.
Yeah, I mean, getting punched in the face is pretty tiring.
Yeah, that'll make you sleepy.
That'll make you a little drowsy, even if you do have a cool Legends of the Hidden Temple looking tattoo on your back.
Well, he is about to get sent to the Shrine of the Silver Monkey, pressed up against the fence. Tybura pushing Volkov. Volkov trying to find a way out of it, trying to invert the body of Tybura, trying to turn this one around. Now pressing both hands against the midsection of Marcin Tybura is Volkov, whose back is pressed hard against the side of the octagon, right in one of the corner posts. And Volkov in a bit of trouble here, trying to turn it around, finds a way out of it, tried to throw an elbow. That did not land. 2:20 left to go in round number 1.
I am absolutely confused why he went for that takedown, as Tybura was really just teeing off on his face. Like, why the fuck are you going for a takedown on a guy that much bigger than you?
I don't know. He's probably sensing his knockout power is not going to do enough here. Tried to foot stomp into a left-right, did not go. Did Volkov, and now Tybura controlling the center of the octagon, trying to step right in. 2 of the top 10 heavyweights in the world, according to the UFC. Both men looking a little tired here. 1:45 left to go in the round. Tybura changing his stance, now leading with his left, shoots in, tried to take Volkov down. Volkov now on top, just collapsed on him.
This is why you don't try to take down a man that has 20 pounds on you in the center of the fucking octagon.
And now Volkov pressing his forearm underneath the chin of Tybura to try to get some separation, as Tybura interlocking the hands around the back of Alexander Volkov. Volkov in a lot of trouble, even though he's in the dominant position, raking that elbow against the face of Marcin Tybura. Trying to break through it now with 1:09 left to go. Both men down on the ground. Tybura in the bottom position, punches to the ribs by Volkov, and the referee, Mark Goddard, may try to get them to stand back up, trying to change their positioning. Volkov trying to press pie face Tybura to get him off of his back, get his hands off of his back so he can posture up or maybe stand back up. Trying to posture up was Volkov, not able to do it. Now finds a way to break free, but interlocking again is Tybura. Volkov not able to seamlessly transition from being grappled to being held into striking, and now just trying to peel away again, peels away, lands a right, but it was a very cloudy right. Inside control now is Volkov. Tybura isolating the arm, Volkov isolating Tybura's arm, and now trying to throw lefts, but that right hand of Tybura is still open, and he is pressing Volkov away. The reach here now insignificant, with both men piled on top of each other, and Volkov missing hard with a forearm to the jaw. Kind of scraped and went up. Just a bracing shot from Volkov, and we will go to the corners here in a confounding round number 1.
I gotta give it to Tybura, even though you had Volkov in top position at the end of the round. We have to be asking ourselves the question, while he did have his arm over the throat of Tybura, wasn't enough to win him to the point that he's as tired, if not more, than Volkov appeared to be within 2 minutes of the first round. I get heavyweights gas easier, but 2 minutes, buddy, come on.
It ain't great. It ain't great. But after that round, you got to give it a 10-9 to somebody.
Yeah.
Who do you give the 10-9 to? Do you give it to Tybura?
I do. I certainly do. More strikes landed, clean strikes landed. I mean, he got his takedown stuffed twice in the middle of the octagon, but I got to give it to him. And I don't think that Volkov did anything really on the ground that warranted him getting anything out of that.
And we will go to round number 2 there. Shouting out Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez. That's going to be amazing.
That's going to be really fucking good.
And that's November 13th, but we'll be back here next week for UFC 268, and both men standing in the center. Volkov throwing shots here. Tybura looking a little tired himself coming out of the corner.
Looking a little punch drunk, honestly.
Yeah, this is a boxcar homer situation where both fighters are looking to just tire their opponent out and push them over, but they're not able to get that one going.
My God, Matt. Yeah, Volkov looks tentative and Tybura looks drunk.
Yeah. Overhand left missed by Tybura. Volkov landing a straight left. I'm not sure if they did shots in between the rounds, but now in a clinch situation, Tybura getting hit with a really faint knee by Volkov. And now holding hands with Volkov's back to the octagon, went downstairs, then upstairs, did Tybura. Volkov pushing away and both men getting tired here.
Yeah, big firefight against the cage with Tybura getting the better of it from the looks of it.
And now Tybura trying to pull a takedown again, gets back into the clinch and landing with the right hand, even got a little bit of a faint back fist for good measure.
Solid dirty boxing by Tybura, using that double leg takedown attempt to throw as a feint, it looked like at the very least. Good strategy.
And Oezdemir, Volkov is the bigger fighter. He's 263, but he doesn't look 263.
No, he looks tentative.
Yeah.
His weight class is tentative.
Yeah, he does not look like he belongs at the heavyweight division, even though he's 6'3". He's 6'7" for God's sake.
Yeah.
So
the weight is certainly there.
Yeah.
Yeah. My goodness.
But a really tentative fight here between both of these fighters in round 2. I think their gas has really been exposed. Underhook into a knee, single underhook by Volkov into the knee to the body, but not able to maintain that hold. And now once again, trying to go for the double underhooks is Volkov, but he is getting lit up against the fence by Tybura, who is trying to pull the right knee, but not able to do it. Tried to slip and get the right knee, but Volkov finds a way around it. And now pressing up against the fence, Volkov trying to stop the takedown by Tybura. 2:39 left to go in the round. Here in round number 2 of 3 in the UFC heavyweight division. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Brendan Sokler. Knee to the body, capturing the leg is Tybura. Volkov in a bit of trouble. He's peeled back against the fence. It looks like Volkov's trying to pull an abdominal stretch here as Tybura pulling the knee in an uppercut by Volkov. Volkov in trouble now. Tybura with some light, tired punches of his own landing here. 8 of 8 in takedowns is Volkov. Some great takedown defense here. And just Tybura's not even telegraphing his shots. He's sending a telegram before the telegram. Needed a body by Volkov.
It's truly something because both men look utterly gassed, but their volume is still so fucking high, particularly for the heavyweight division, Matt.
Dan Partridge saying Tybura has this fight. That doesn't look like it's possible. HMS MHD saying, show us the fight. Fuck you, no. Minute 43 left to go in the round. Some light punches by Tybura, trying to pull again for that takedown. A very faint knee, trying to keep distance is Tybura from Volkov. Volkov stepping in, landing a left-right combination. Kick to the body by Tybura. 90 seconds left to go in the fight. No, in the round, pardon me. And both men just kind of standing and trading every once in a while in really clumsy exchanges.
Yeah, but it looks to me like Tybura is landing. I have to question how long Volkov can take these short shots to the fucking head.
It is interesting. It is real interesting how they're getting here. Just standing in the center of the octagon, minute 3 left to go. Overhand left by Volkov. Left hand by Tybura. That overhand left.
You honestly have to call Tybura's stance kind of Jackie Chan drunken master sort of deal. Yeah. The movements are just strange. Not Clay Guida strange, but strange.
Shots to the body and then a shot to the ribs of Volkov. Just finding spots to punch and then 2 right hands to the face of Volkov.
Ariel making a point that these guys for their size can move pretty good.
Oh, they are graceful as fuck for heavyweights, but they're tired. Significant strikes, both of them in this round have landed 22 significant strikes.
It is a close fight. It is a close fight.
Ariel asking how tall is Volkov. Volkov 6'7", now pressed up against the fence as Tybura laying in knees and now trying to go for that takedown again with 6 seconds, maybe trying to steal the round or secure the round, depending upon how you view this round.
Yeah, I gotta say, I give this round to Tybura. Octagon control being a factor in this, he seemed to have more of it.
But when you come down to significant strikes, which they'll probably look at when they're judging this round, it's a 10-9 round, and you might give it Tybura for the last 10 seconds of that round. Maybe the last 10 seconds of that round, but then you take a look at the takedown defense from Volkov in that fight, able to stymie him every single time. 9 for 9 now. You could give either of them a 10-9 round. You have to give one of them the round, but you got to have to basically give them the round.
So how do you score this fight so far, Matt?
Right now it's Tybura. Tybura won the first round. He's the only one who clearly won a round. The second round is a toss-up, so I can see it being 2018 or 1919. I can see it either way right now.
Shaq, thoughts?
I've been fielding some tweets over here. Honestly, I think Volkov won the first round. I'm going to be the guy to sort of, pull away from you here. But I think it was a close second round. I'm gonna give it 19-19, but I'm gonna swap it. I'm gonna give Volkov the first and Tybura the second.
Interesting. Let us know in the comments what you
guy.
were thinking. We're starting round number 3 hot. Both of them running into each other. Thank you, everybody, for the compliments in the chat.
Yeah,
Dominic
thanks,
and
guys.
Samir overhand left, not landed by a very tired Tybura. He is breathing heavier than I was in the parking lot at MetLife Stadium last Sunday.
I mean, is he tired or is this? He's been kind of just this face, weird movements, kind of looking gassed the whole time, but then throwing over like 30 strikes in a round.
And this is a 3-round fight. This is not a main event nor a title fight. Overhand left landed by Volkov to the back of the ear of Tybura to Volkov. 4:15 left to go in the round. Lumbering around are both fighters. Overhand, another takedown attempt by Tybura. At what point do you just stop doing that and conserve your energy?
See, but here's the thing, Matt. I don't think he thinks he's going to get this takedown. What he has been doing, though, is using it to open up to the dirty boxing, shots to the body,
but
and
then
the octagon.
But you're still there for 2.5 minutes, though. It's still you still count it as a stuffed takedown, and at that point, unless he's able to land some solid shots, it's a toss-up.
I mean, it begs the question.
Missing the single leg there was Tybura.
Absolutely, but it begs the question of what the judges are counting more of, octagon control or takedown defense. And I'd submit it's probably octagon control. So it's not the worst strategy. It is possibly a flawed one, though.
Yeah, it might just be the last act of a desperate man. Left uppercut, overhand right landed by Volkov. Volkov eating an overhand left by Tybura. Now single leg, now trapping it. Volkov stymieing another takedown attempt into the double underhook, trying to secure the double underhook, maybe go for a Muay Thai clinch, lets him go, right-left combination by Volkov. Leading with the right hand was Tybura, switching up his stance, now leading with the left, switching again with 3:01 left to go, missing with an overhand left, hitting with a back fist. 13 of 13 in takedowns is Volkov so far this afternoon in Abu Dhabi. Head kick blocked by Volkov. That one would have hit Tybura in the head, but for Volkov, it was like his bicep. 2:45 left to go in the round.
Tybura throws these swinging shots, like these winged out shots where he's also ducking into them. That's very reminiscent of Derek Lewis, but it's also something that I think affects his accuracy on those shots. And I'm wondering how effective it is.
Well, we've seen someone like Derek Lewis walk off Volkov before, so this is going to be an interesting 224. Stymieing another takedown attempt, had an option to pull it down, and now just interlocking. Tybura trying to turn out of the grapple attempt by Volkov, and now both men pressed up against the fence. Tybura almost
got the back.
He almost pulled it. He almost pulled out of it, but Volkov does have the back, trying to find something to pull off.
Knees to the backs of the legs by Volkov, potentially trying to take him off his feet right now.
Yeah, he's got the arms wrapped around that waist lock, and now pulling out of it, trying to go to a Muay Thai clinch, lands an uppercut, lands a left as Volkov. Volkov finding a rhythm now and punches. Tybura looking tired, keeping his hands up, but a couple of shots landing there by Volkov, looking to win this round. 95 seconds left to go.
Right now, I have to say whoever is in the dominant position at the end of this round probably takes it.
Yeah, whoever's standing at the end of this wins it.
Yeah.
Minute 24 left to go. Overhand lefts and rights not landing by Volkov. Minute 20 left to go in the round. Left hand landed by Tybura. That one caught the top of the jaw of Alexander Volkov. Spinning back fist missing, but landing a feint right hand is Marcin Tybura.
I mean, Tybura seems like a drunken Terminator right now. He just keeps coming over and over and over and moving really fucking weird while doing it.
Like Chief Wiggum in the Rex Bannon episode, just lumbering around with a dead-eyed glaze. And Tybura pressing Volkov under a minute left to go in the round now, pressing into Volkov against the fence. Volkov has been controlling the rhythm of this round, landing shots. quick lefts and rights, landing some solid shots, walking through significant strikes here. 20-13 in round 1 for Volkov, 23-22 in round 2 for Tybura, 29-14 right now for Volkov.
This is Volkov's round to lose in the last 20 seconds of this
Right
fight.
hand landed by Volkov. Volkov may win on significant strike output alone, and I think we're going to get an interesting call here. Ben Melly is saying it's going to be a late knockout for Volkov. He's got 9 seconds to do it. And right here in Fight Island, uppercut landed by Tybura. We will be going to the scorecards in our only heavyweight fight of the main card. All 3 rounds. And we're going to see who walks out with this one. Gentlemen, this was Alexander Volkov's round, and it might have been his fight. It's going to be interesting here. Both men just saying, fuck it. We're going to sit down.
Let's take a knee, boys. Take a knee. Hot damn. What a weird fight.
Yeah.
Like
that is the UFC heavyweight division manifest.
Yeah.
Great moments, but not a lot of explosion, not a lot of stamina, built for a round and a half.
Yeah. I mean, the output was high, but they were tired the whole time.
Yeah.
It looked like. I don't know. Shaq, what the fuck did you think of this shit?
You know, it was a heavyweight fight. I had fun. I'm inclined to say last round for Volkov. First and foremost, you're supposed to factor in who did more damage. I think, to me, clearly, who came closer to ending the fight, and I think that was Volkov. In round 3 and round 1. I know Brendan did bring up the question about octagon control versus wrestling defense. From what I understand, shout out to Sean Sheehan over at Severe MMA. MMA is judged as an offensive sport, and so things like wrestling defense are not supposed to be factored in at all, from what I understand. So assuming everything else is equal in terms of damage, and the other factors that are considered before octagon control, I think you would always give it to octagon control over wrestling defense. So however that may factor into your scoring, it's all confusing. No one really knows how this shit works.
Let's go to the scorecard really quickly. The totals from Joe Martinez: 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28, all for Alexander Volkov.
Wow.
2 judges giving him all 3 rounds. That first round, you can maybe give him that second round suspect. That third round, totally his, and then 29-28. So an interesting result here for Alexander Volkov, getting the win here, getting his 34th professional win, and dropping Marcin Tybura to 22-7.
I have a question, folks.
Yeah, sure.
Jimmy Manuwa, shout out to the great Jimmy Manuwa, fun light heavyweight fighter, big power, big boxing, that classic, all-time classic. I think it was Jan Blachowicz 2, the second time those guys met in a 5-round main event. He put out a tweet during this fight saying, let me not misquote him.
Yeah.
He wrote, and I quote, "I'll do both of these heavyweights." And I retweeted saying, "I love how everything fighters say sounds sexual. Will I get in trouble with Jimmy Manuwa?" And he just replied.
Oh boy, what did he say?
What did he say?
That he's gonna hurt me in an alleyway. No, he said, depends where your mind is at. Yeah, fair,
okay.
fair.
What a gentlemanly like response. But I assume Jimmy Manuwa will want to make some smush.
Let's take a look at the chat. Paid programming saying, well, what next? Blades Volkov 2, Lewis Volkov 2.
I'd like to see Lewis Volkov 2. Yeah.
I'd see that. I'd pay to see that.
Yeah. Blades, someone had pitched John Jones's first fight at heavyweight to be that. I think it was Cormier who did so. And I want to see that because I'm also of the mind that I agree with Daniel Cormier. I don't know if John Jones is going to win his first fight at heavyweight. If he went up against the title holder.
If his first fight is against either Gane or Francis Ngannou, you don't like his odds. But if he's going up against the top 15, then like if he's going up against a Greg Hardy, then someone saying, Umi Zion Khan, you fat guy. Yes, I am fat guy. Hello. I am fat guy. Taking a look at the chat. Mikey Santiellan agreeing with you, Brendan. Jimmy's going to do him.
Yeah. Go make that smush.
But coming up next, it's Dan Hooker versus Islam Makhachev.
Yep.
Oh, baby girl.
This is going to be so fucking dope.
This is either going to be 3 rounds of them trying to grapple fuck each other or someone's dead 5 seconds in.
This is going to be hot. I have no goddamn idea.
I don't think anybody does. I don't think anybody has a good, solid idea of what's going to happen.
I mean, it certainly begs the question of this will be a test for Makhachev. I mean, this is a high-level opponent. And I believe Dan Hooker's ranked above him. I could be mistaken.
I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, this might be one of his hardest tests that he's had. And much like that Chimaev fight, it is going to give us an idea of what this guy's place in the division is.
If we take a look at his last 3 opponents, Hooker faced Nasrat Haqparast, Michael Chandler, and Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
Before this, Makhachev is on an 8-fight winning streak. His last 2 opponents were submission wins over Thiago Moises and Drew Dober. So you take a look at the quality of opponent.
Yeah.
That makes it a bit hard to look at. Like that's...
I mean, it's a big difference when you're facing that level of elite fighters.
Yeah.
I mean, and Dan Hooker is fucking ready for that level of elite fighters. He's a fucking gamer.
Yeah.
Dude does the damn thing. And I love watching this guy fight.
And if you love us doing the damn thing, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let us know how you're enjoying the show. Like this video, and also be sure to hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. We are live for every UFC pay-per-view and hopefully a couple of freak fights. I really want to do Jake Paul, Tommy Fury. I want to do Mike Tyson, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
That's a fight that's happening.
Yeah.
That is a fight that is happening.
That's been announced?
I believe it's official. I'm not sure. But last week I was in an Amish farmer's market somewhere in South Jersey and was made aware that Mike Tyson and Logan Paul would be fighting one another.
I'm going to throw to our Barbara Gordon, the Oracle over in Shakiel Mahjouri, and see if that is
It is reported. It is definitely not finalized or confirmed. What was confirmed yesterday is Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. 8 rounds at 198 pounds, Showtime Boxing. I'll confirm that stat.
I'd watch that shit. I'd call that shit.
So this will be the first time in Jake Paul's career that he fights someone who has ever won a professional boxing match. So,
that's good.
So, yeah, there's a first for everything.
That's fun.
Now,
was Tommy Fury on Love Island, or was that?
Yes, he was on Love Island.
So who do you root for?
Yeah, I know. Let me give you a stat though. So I don't want to give either man too much credit.
The Octagon, playing along for those at home.
Paul,
us as the audience.
Yeah,
because we get to watch them punch each other in the face. Yeah. Shaq, you were saying.
Yes, Jake Paul, 4-0 as a pro boxer. Has never beaten anyone who's ever boxed professionally. In fact, most of his opponents had never boxed professionally, period. Tommy Fury's 7-0, but his wins the people he's beat have a combined record of 12 wins, 209 losses, and 5
he has
draws.
fought tomato cans.
Bro, except Anthony Taylor, 7-5 was his best win. One of these dudes is like 2 and like 105 losses on his own. How could you let that guy box?
How do you license that?
Was the fight in Alabama? Was it in Dothan?
Find out soon, actually.
Like, what type of Bob Sapp bullshit is that?
Yeah, here, let me throw to the corner cam real quick. Put myself on there. Okay, guys, so let's take a look. I think I'll have to look through these very quickly and see which one it was. I think it's one of the first few. All right, it's this guy, Lucky Jevgenis Andreajevs, 10 wins, 111 losses, and 3 draws. Dude, he has lost via TK. Let me see. Does it have a total? No, it doesn't. But in just on Tapology, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 KO TKO losses in probably his last 15 fights. You cannot let that man compete. He's 40 years old.
Should not be allowed allowed near a ring.
No.
Like, I'm not even talking a boxing ring. I mean jewelry.
He should not be allowed anywhere near like a light breeze at this point.
No.
Can't
Put
let
that man
guy.
in a bubble. Fuck concussion protocol. Camarado saying, seems like all the hosts are from Palm Springs. Well, Shaq's Canadian.
Yeah, I'm from Northern Virginia.
And I am from Brooklyn. I have been to California once, and that was to go to Tijuana, and I almost had to use a tunnel to get back home. But taking a look at the chat really quick, Mikey Sandhagen saying, all great MMA news comes from the Amish community. That is true.
That is true.
I found out about the Tyson fight while buying whoopie pies at an Amish market somewhere in Lambertsville, New Jersey.
People who churn butter know mixed martial arts.
That is true.
Science.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, I think I got a good fight for Lucky. Hasbulla. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Get him his first win.
Legitimately would favor Hasbulla in that fight.
Yeah, like the odds would be so high in his favor. We're not advocating for this boxer to punch a child because I don't think he frankly hit him. Jesus fuck.
Dan Hooker ranked below Islam, which Evan Digny is saying, which is crazy, but you know who Islam's manager is. I believe that is a slight at Ali Abdelaziz.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, this a fucking interesting fight and really is going to establish possibly one of the next contenders. Like
this 155 pound division is insane.
Well,
it's unfair how good
been
it is.
That way.
Yeah, but let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Hooker 31, Makhachev 30. Hooker with a slight height advantage, 6 foot to the 5'10" of Makhachev. Hooker coming in at 156 pounds, Makhachev at 155.5. But here's the real story: a 4.5-inch reach advantage for Hooker, 75 to 70.5. Hooker has been submitted twice, though. When you take a look at Makhachev, he's knocked out 3, submitted 9, 8 decision wins.
That is one long-limbed Hooker.
Well, the Hooker gets screwed when you go to the scorecards. He's 4-6 in his career when fights have gone to a decision. Makhachev 8-0. Makhachev almost 50% of his wins. 8 of his 20 victories have come by way of decision, 9 by submission.
Those odds are rude.
Yeah. What was the odd?
It was plus 385 for Hooker.
Wow. He's a plus 385 underdog.
Yeah, that's rough.
Evan Digny saying, make sure you guys are looking at Connor's Twitter as soon as this fight ends. Let's keep a trace on that.
Yeah.
Minus 525 favorite is Makhachev. He is a minus 525 favorite. How the sweet Jesus hell.
I'm also going to throw this out to everyone. I think lightweight, most competitive division for
now that Khabib's gone. Yeah, now that Khabib's gone, that's a super exciting division.
Yeah, but I mean, even when Khabib was there, everything under Khabib
exactly.
was scarily competitive.
It was a pay-per-view main event. It was a pay-per-view main event everywhere. Like, you could have just had Khabib hold the BMF equivalent belt and have everybody else fight for the secondary belt. But here we go in round number 1, Makhachev and Hooker. Makhachev in gray, Hooker in black. Makhachev controlling the center of the octagon. Hooker pecking around with that left hand, stepping in, has the reach advantage, has the height advantage, but does not have the sports book advantage. A huge disparity, a minus 500 favorite, a plus 345 underdog for Hooker. Standing in the center of the octagon is Makhachev. No strikes landed yet. A lot of feints from both fighters. 30 seconds gone by.
And I will also say, I'm really liking Makhachev's movement. He is so fucking quick.
Oh, and a shot to the head, getting the right eye, the left eye of Dan Hooker. Makhachev pulling straight into a double leg, and now on top of Hooker, trying to sink in the double leg.
I mean, successfully getting the double leg down on the ground is Dan Hooker with Makhachev in top position.
Yeah, I meant to say underhook, pardon me. Just straddling the right leg, the left leg of Hooker. The left leg of Hooker straddled, the right leg bent at an angle. It is in a knee up position. Hooker in trouble here, trapping the right arm of Makhachev, but not doing a lot, just draining a lot of Hooker's energy. Punches to the rib cage by Hooker with that left hand. In trouble here, 3:38 into round number 1.
Yeah, I mean, this is an incredible position for Makhachev. It's side control, effectively, where he's launching off knees and he's also cutting off with his arm some of the airway of Dan Hooker.
But Hooker pinning that arm of Makhachev for a moment, but Makhachev just powering through, trying to create no space, trying to create no daylight between he and Dan Hooker, interlocking that leg, almost a pseudo figure 4 position, but in a side control for Makhachev. Hooker trying to do anything he can to contain or get Makhachev off of him, pinning that left. Now, pinning the left leg of Makhachev, but pivoting around back into a variation of side control. Makhachev trying to take the arm, trying to pull a variation of a Kimura, utilizing the right arm. He is bridging over his body. Ooh. He has just stepped over into Hooker, pulling the Kimura. He has pulled the Kimura, and it's over. Islam Makhachev lifted his leg over the head of Dan Hooker, teabagged and Kimured him, steeped him in failure. And now Islam Makhachev 21-1.
The angle that Dan Hooker's arm just went in was gross. That was
his shoulder. Nasty. His shoulder went into his spinal column. We'll see it again here on the replay. We're going to see how this fight starts. The right hand tripping up, trying to go for the body kick was Hooker, but immediately right hand to the head into the double leg, and they lived on the ground.
Jesus Christ, these fucking Dagestanis.
And this is the key part of the fight. Just lifting that right leg, having the flexibility to lift the right leg and pin the neck, just basically squeeze. He was going for a variation of a stretch muffler and a Kimura at the same time.
Now,
that was insanity.
Yeah, and now lifting his kid, or
that's Hasbulla.
Oh, that's
Hasbulla. Oh, Hasbulla's in the cage. Hasbulla's.
Oh my God.
And there's Khabib hugging Hasbulla. Good. One of the sweetest sights I've ever seen.
This was wholesome. I needed that after that arm angle. Good God.
I've never seen someone do a step over Kimura.
Yeah.
A step over fucking Kimura.
Yeah, I mean,
what the hell?
Yeah.
Jesus.
God damn it. I've seen wrestling moves like that. I have never seen that.
Who's going to steal that finish first?
Someone.
Oh,
someone
my
fucking
God.
Zack Sabre Jr. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Shibata.
Yeah. Or Shibata. One of the two. So let's talk about this Conor McGregor feed. Shaq, if you don't mind pulling up a couple of those tweets. Not much to say in the one-sided shellacking.
Oh, and Hooker just like off rip was like, oh, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
But he was in it until he wasn't in it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same result if I fought this guy. Like it'd be much shorter. It'd be much shorter.
You'd run out of the cage.
What am I looking for right now? I don't see any.
To see if
Connor
McGregor
tweets.
popped off.
Yeah,
Makhachev.
McGregor's apparently been on a tweet storm during this show.
Really? I haven't seen. There's
No. We were just seeing if Connor was going to react to it. He wasn't tweet storming.
Oh, okay.
No, he's. I'm just seeing proper whiskey left, right, and center.
Okay.
Thurston Bell saying, "Damn, that was anticlimactic." Dan Partridge saying, "Are you insane? That submission was insane."
Yeah, I got to agree with Dan Partridge on this.
A step over Kimura.
Yeah.
A fucking step over Kimura.
It was a beautiful thing.
That was the most violent but beautiful thing I've ever seen. 21st fighter with submissions by 4 or more techniques, an RNC, an armbar, an arm triangle, and a Kimura. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you call that the Makhachev now? The step over Kimura? Do you just call it that? Like, I have been watching mixed martial arts for a very long time, and I have never seen that before. I don't know if you drill for that. I don't know if you train for that, but that's something where you just don't understand. You don't know the physics of that.
It was beautiful. Fuck. I mean, if you call it the step over Kimura, you could call it the soak. And
no.
I like that.
I don't know. Steph, I need a ruling here.
Yeah. What are we calling this one, Steph? Step over Kimura, the soak, the Makhachev.
I mean, I know I'm an expert on wrestling and MMA.
Totally, yes.
But
yes.
I'm gonna just agree with whatever you guys are saying. Just so you learn, so you can get to my level.
I'm gonna call this the Shaq's mom. Shaq right now diligently checking Twitter for us as we've requested. I'm being a shithead.
Yes.
Is this an appropriate time to tell you that my mother is dead?
Good.
No. It's good that mine is dead.
Yeah.
It's good as mine is dead.
There we go.
You got to confuse. It's like the Lenny and Carl thing.
You got to laugh off your trauma, It's good. It's healthy. It's healthy.
Confused sometimes.
My mother was a horrible person. Taking a look at the chat, programming saying Frank Mir style. Houdini is convinced that Makhachev could beat Dustin or Charles. All right, let's see it then.
Yeah,
let's see it.
I'd like to see it.
And that is the best family. I want that to be my Christmas card. The photo
there's nothing stopping you
of Makhachev and his team, along with Khabib and Hasbulla, making a lovely family photo.
God damn. We're seeing some beautiful shellackings today. Gorgeous. Loving it. Bada bop bop bop. Fuck me.
And we've got another 2 fights to go, and they're both title fights. That's fight of the night, right? That submission of the night. You give that man the $50,000.
Yeah,
he got the bonus, right? There's unless God comes down during the Jan Sandhagen fight. There's nothing that takes that unless someone one punch knockout somebody.
I still don't forgive Petr Yan for that fucking knee.
That knee?
Yeah.
That just, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, he was getting yelled at by his coaches to go for it. I'm loath to give him the Petr Yan piece of shit thumbs up that we are so wont to do, but I'm pretty fucking close. It seemed like a toolbox. It's fine. But yeah, right now we're seeing Kamaru Usman highlights in preparation for this MSG show. Makhachev has fought at welterweight as well?
I believe. No, I think he's primarily stayed at lightweight.
Okay.
If I may, I've got people on my Twitter feed telling me that Colby Covington is going to beat Kamaru Usman. How do you reach that conclusion?
Racism.
And they believe that they've installed a robot as president, and Donnie's coming back any day.
It's not even that. We're joking, but the level of cult of personality that Colby has within a certain fan base of the MMA community,
I think
very certain fan base of the community.
Yeah,
but also. Colby is a professional shit talker. He is a muckraker. He is Roger Stone who throws hands. So he is going to be able to create that idea that he could do that. And also the wins he had leading up to the Usman fight have been quality wins, but
they're not comparable. Only did Usman win the first one, but the only person he's beat is Tyron Woodley, and that was over a year ago.
No, but that's the thing. It's a false equivalency. Yeah. That's what I'm saying is he had quality wins, but they're not quantitative to fighting Kamaru Usman or fighting one of the top 3 in the division. It's just they're using this as a false equivalency, as an outlier to set up the fact that they think he can win it.
Colby should not have even taken this fight. He has not put in the reps. Usman has gotten so much better,
but also
and Covington hasn't.
He's bought into his own bullshit.
I agree.
He worked himself into a shoot. He at some point decided that he is actually this character that he is portraying, because it's bad. I'm going to say this now. Outside of the jingoism, outside of all of the falderall and the MAGA shit, I don't think Colby Covington's a good promo.
I'd say so as well. I think he's just taking really just run-of-the-mill sound bites and running up the ladder. It's
taking stuff that superstar Billy Graham said in 71, repurposing it and trying to be Chael Sonnen without any of the charm or genuine, even the faux genuine stuff of Chael P. Sonnen. Yeah. Covington, I was there for the Lawler fight in Newark. Mm-hmm. And I already didn't like Colby.
Yep.
This was also the week my dog died. So I'm already just in a shit mood.
Right.
And he just was the most. He had all of his, palaver for the pre-show stuff, but after the fight, he got pressed about supporting the troops and really just he doesn't have that ability to just not just say the same lines again.
Yeah.
He is very much just the same thing. And he also can't get out of that. He can't change lanes.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have that second gear inside the cage, and he doesn't have it in conversation.
And
promo.
People had been saying when Colby was saying stuff like Kamaru Usman, you couldn't draw money if you had a piece of paper and a green crayon. Seeing Dan Lambert in AEW only further confirms the suspicion or the belief that people had that Dan Lambert was writing any half decent line that Colby Covington had.
I know people who told me personally that they were in the wrestling industry and they wrote Colby's promos for him.
Yeah.
I can say this now. I can cut a better promo for Colby Covington to defeat Kamaru Usman than he could, and I don't even need to go into the jingoism.
Yeah, and wouldn't that be healthy?
Yeah.
I think
those asking, have the fight started yet? We are waiting the co-main event. They are promoting the pay-per-view for next week, not the pay-per-view that's airing right now.
Correct. I mean, it does say something about the fact that Covington's even getting this fight. Just how thorough Usman has been.
Yeah, he has decimated everyone who has stepped in front of him in that weight class.
I mean, outside of Chimaev, who we've talked about tonight, that I don't really have that many people I'm interested in seeing fight Usman at welter now.
I think the move is for him to move up. It's time for, if Usman wins this fight, it's time for him to move to 185.
I would say if he beats Chimaev after when that gets around, then sure. I think we still have one waiting in the wings.
I want to see, assuming Leon beats Jorge, I want to see the Leon fight. I want to see the Hazmat fight, and then or Vicente if I don't know how that matches out. But after that, there's nobody left.
Do you think Leon Edwards stands a fart's breath of a chance against Usman?
I think
no, but I feel like that win adds something legitimate to Usman's legacy, considering the streak that Edwards is on and the shared history that they have. Like when you look at the win records, it's like Kamaru and Leon actually have quite similar trajectories, at least on the surface level. So I think that's an important fight just for legacy's sake. And personally, I miss the times where a champion was truly dominant in their division before they moved up. And for a while, I think the divisions were so competitive, like it is at lightweight, that maybe the UFC was like, we should get these super fights in before it's too late. But I think we're getting back to a point where you're seeing dominant champs like Adesanya, like Usman. So I think you have some time to let that happen. But that's just me.
Jeffy Johnson in the chat saying Usman said his hardest fight was against Edwards. If I'm Leon Edwards, I'm looking at this pragmatically. I am hoping after this fight, Usman moves up to 185 because now that division is wide open and there is no argument for him to not get a title shot. Because you have to look at the road that Leon Edwards has had to this point where he's been denied opportunity after opportunity. And now, with this fight, the future of the 170-pound division can be basically explained. You can get a lot clearer. And I think if you're Leon Edwards, you're hoping in your heart of hearts that he does make that move because now there's no argument that you should be in the fight for the interim or the vacant title.
Yeah.
I think that's you want that fight. You want the fight with Kamaru. You want to prove yourself. But when you look deep in within that situation, you got to look at it pragmatically. You look at the things that have been stacked against you in the UFC, even before the incident with Jorge Masvidal. You're like, fuck this. I deserve my title fight. If there's any opportunity that opens up a running lane for me, I'm going to do that.
I'd agree with that sentiment. But also, I'm pretty disinterested in a lot of the welterweight fights because of how dominant Usman has been. I think there's maybe 3 people that could beat him at welterweight.
That's what Shaq was saying earlier with 155. It's a lot more interesting now that Khabib is gone. We wanted to see Khabib fight. You wanted to see him dominate. I wanted to see that GSP fight.
I want to see the GSP fight. I also want to see him move up to welterweight.
Yeah.
And also, frankly, Khabib fucked off before he got to face a lot of the killers that I wanted to see him face. So, a little bummed about that.
Yeah, but you know what? Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him. Like we talk about these great fighters.
He's also one fight away from having 30 wins I don't know. There's something that I just wanted that.
You're a completionist.
Truly, I think 30-0 makes a lot more sense to me than 29-0, and I don't know why. Numbers, fuck.
Yeah, people have a weird fascination with round numbers. It's just human nature for whatever reason.
Yeah, I fucking love round numbers. Round numbers and me makes mush.
Round numbers and round booty.
Yeah.
Speaking of round booties, I'm Matt Ryan. That's Brendan Sokler. On the other side of the metaphorical glass is Stephanie Sotilli. On the other side of the continent is Shakiel Mahjouri, general fancy man for MMA, Mania, Combat, Culture, and Cage Side Seats. Read his wrestling columns, please. Wrestling is a sport that deserves love and respect.
Hell yeah.
And follow us on Twitter, Shaq at Shaq_Fu, Steph at Steph Sotilli, Brendan at Brendan Sokler, and I am at M Ryan Consulting.
Yeah.
Evan Digney saying Khabib versus Usman should have happened. We agree.
Yeah.
It should have happened, but it has not happened.
Petr Yan.
And now you got TJ Dillashaw back in the mix. And just like
TJ Dillashaw.
who beat Cory Sandhagen back in July. So it's weird that we're not seeing Jan versus Sandhagen for an interim title. Fuckery at its finest.
You mean Jan versus Dillashaw?
Yeah.
Yeah. You said Jan versus Sandhagen. Because we are seeing that.
Yes.
We're about to see that.
I got myself confused. I just say what's on the screen.
I see
pretty.
you. I smell what they're
I'm only here because I'm pretty.
I know. Petr Yan has fighter ears. Just fucking so much wrestling.
Petr Yan looks exactly like the guy who played Al Capone in Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, okay. I dig that. I also think God damn it. I just don't want good things for this guy because of this shit. I get why he's pissed. He's got the total reason to be pissed, but he's the reason why he's where he is. And Aljamain Sterling didn't want to, he didn't want to win the fight title that way. No one wants to win a title that way. Why is Sterling out right now?
He got a neck injury.
Huh. It's almost like someone kneed him in the fucking head.
Yeah, you would think that would attribute to a neck injury.
Yeah, Jesus, fuck.
Myra asking on YouTube, what did Dan get submitted by? A step over by God Kimura.
Yeah, fucking insanity. Look up the highlights, Myra. It was cuckoo banana pants, as the kids say.
It was one of the coolest finishes I have seen in watching mixed martial arts. In the 28 years I've been watching mixed martial arts.
Yeah, there is a class right now of fighter, and we've seen both of them, that can just do what they want.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting when they just keep doing these creative ass finishes.
Mm-hmm.
It's rad. Also, that ref who was in the Chimaev fight should be fired.
Yeah. A 10-fight winning streak prior to the loss to Aljamain Sterling for Petr Yan. 5 of those being by KO, TKO. So Petr Yan is a dangerous human. Sandhagen coming off a split decision loss. 2-2 in his last 4, with his other loss outside of the Dillashaw loss coming by way of submission. He has never been knocked out. He's been submitted once, decision twice. Jack Seymour saying anyone picking Sandhagen.
No.
Let me ask a question in regards to that. What is it about Cory Sandhagen that makes people, even like high-level analysts, such a believer? Because he was whooped, handedly outclassed by Aljamain Sterling quickly. And he lost the fight to a TJ Dillashaw. It was a close fight, but he lost the fight to a TJ Dillashaw that had been off for quite a while. And now he's kind of understandably gifted this position. It's the only thing that could work out. But why? What is it about his skill set or his mind that makes people such a believer despite his shortcomings? I think it's an Anthony
Pettis sort of thing, in that he's
flashy.
He's flash and he's dynamic. And his highlight reel looks good. So when you put him up against a Petr Yan and you showed these clips that we just saw, I was like, that was a capoeira kick. That's pretty wild. Oh, flying knee. How about that? Like, it's just a sexy pick because of that. And from what I've read, he gives a good enough interview.
It's basically, bless you, by the way, it's the for me, it's just what you're saying, Brendan. It's
Yeah.
what every MMA writer would make as a created character in the UFC story mode.
Sure.
Flashy, highlights, weird tattoos. It's what you would make as a UFC creative mode fighter.
Yeah.
So that's probably why, like, there's that aspiration, like, I could be this guy. I could be him. I could root for someone like him, because there's that commonality and that, that aspiration. I'm not saying people are marks for him, but,
Despite me saying that, let me say, I do think Sandhagen has a good shot. I think he's got a very well-rounded game. I think he has high fight IQ, but there's something that needs to click where, like, against Aljo, he made a really critical mistake. Against Dillashaw, he wasn't able to quite turn the tide enough. I don't know what that solution is. I'm not an analyst. But let me say, Petr Yan, despite his success, when you actually look at the fights, like, Jose Aldo, I think, was a lot more competitive for a good stretch of that vacant title fight than he should have been. Jimmy Rivera actually was coming back, and he took round 3 from Petr Yan, but it just couldn't put his foot on the gas enough. So we've seen Petr Yan. Aljamain Sterling, he started taking over, but it was competitive enough early. And Uriah Faber, I don't know how much you can really weigh on that fight. So despite his power and his impressive sort of like finishes in fights, I'm still not entirely convinced that Petr Yan is that guy long term. So I think this fight will give me a good sense for where he's going to be. And it might just be the case where like lightweight, the division is just so competitive and everyone has just enough holes in their game that it might sort of be topsy-turvy for a while.
I would agree with that sentiment, Shaq. It is something where I don't think, like in the welterweight division, you have someone sitting at the top who is elite in their well-roundedness. I think there are holes in most of these guys' games at this level in ways that you don't have at the tops of other divisions, which I do think makes Petr Yan a beatable guy. I just don't know who's going to be that guy to beat him because of the fact that these guys have holes in their game. And I'm a bit unsure what his hole is in order for him to get fucked.
So let's take a look at the chat real quick. Dan Parker saying Jan's going to smash him real hard. Sandman going to go home bloody tonight.
Yeah.
From Emil in the chat. Dan Parker saying Sandhagen is the likable babyface.
Yeah, Dan, yes. That I think this is also why he's promoted, is he's a likable babyface.
He gets over, brother.
Brother.
But if you want to get ready for our co-main event, let people know across social media, share the link, share the love, tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell somebody that we're getting ready for the co-main event for the UFC interim bantamweight title. I am the very gaseous Matt Ryan, joined by Brendan Sokler here in the main office somewhere in the greater New Jersey area. And we've got Shakiel Mahjouri over on the other side of the continent. And on the other side of the glass, we've got Stephanie Sotilli. Steph, how are you over there?
I'm good. We have a fat baby who's joining us for the co-main.
Ooh.
Good. We like that. Yes.
Olive the Fat Baby joining us as always. You can follow her on Twitter at Olive the Fat Baby on Instagram.
Petr Yan is running to the cage. And I can't always help but wonder how annoying that is for the security that has to keep up with him.
Jog, motherfucker!
Petr Yan looking a lot like Canelo Alvarez tonight in the haircut, the beard. We've got a Canelo fight coming up next month. Former bantamweight champion, the most knockdowns in UFC bantamweight history with 9, the second highest takedown accuracy in the division's history with 66.7. Fuck. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of insane. Taking a sip of his monster water. Is that caffeinated?
I hope not. I think it's just water with the logo on it, unless they're going full Michael Secret stuff.
Oh.
Which is entirely possible.
Yeah, that's a thing. This is, I think, going to be a shellacking. I could be wrong. I doubt it.
For our sake, I hope it's wrong.
Yeah, listen. I would love to see a super competitive fight. I'd also love to see Jan get his ass kicked because I think he's kind of a dick. So
fair enough. And also, Sandhagen has finished the piece on his back. It's a full back piece now. Oh. It's not colored in, but it's a full back piece.
Good.
Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Sandhagen 29, Jan 28. Sandhagen 5'11" to the 5'7.5" of Yan, both at 135 championship weight. And then the reach advantage, 70 inches to 67 inches, Sandhagen in favor of Yan. But I think Jan's going to run in there and just try to German suplex Sandhagen out of his soul.
Yeah.
Crazy Chase saying Sandhagen by dog luck punch. Dan Partridge asking, so the next question for this division is about TJ. Is he competitive against a Sterling or Petr Yan?
I mean, I didn't watch his Sandhagen fight. Did you?
No.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't have interest in him, so I didn't go out of my way to watch it by the merit that it was a split decision fight over a beatable fighter. I think he's competitive against Sterling. I don't think he's competitive.
And the weird thing is these guys have comparable records. If you just look at it, 14-3 for Sandhagen, 15-2 for Yan. But Sandhagen's 2-2 in his last 4. You know, he got, tapped by Aljamain Sterling, the loss to Dillashaw. The 2 wins were against, his 2 wins were against Frankie Edgar and Marlon Moraes. Edgar, on the downside of his career significantly. Moraes, you can make an argument for or against, but he's been submitted once, only decision twice as a 5-round fight. It's going to be interesting to see how deep Sandhagen can go into deep waters. I do believe the fight against Dillashaw was a 5-rounder.
Sandhagen was the one who took Frankie Edgar and put him to sleep with that flying knee, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
You are both correct on all accounts.
Yeah. Did Edgar lose another fight since then?
I think Frankie Edgar hasn't fought since that fight.
Okay. That was such a flash knockout. I'm loath to say it's on the downside of his career, but also maybe. Also, I want to see Frankie Edgar win the title again. He's my favorite fighter.
Thurston Bell in the chat saying Herzog looking vascular as fuck. Not wrong.
Yeah.
Goddamn, pal.
Jiggity jacks.
He is vascular.
He's gonna puke.
Goddamn.
Goddamn, pal. Jan's speed, just shadow boxing, it scares me.
This man has one expression on his face, and it is agitated.
Yeah. I have one mode. Glory.
Both of them with different levels of manic energy. Petr Yan looking like he just got thrown out of an East Village club, and he is looking for revenge. Here we go. Round 1 of 5 for the UFC interim bantamweight title. Sandhagen circling around the center of the octagon. Yan like an electric football machine, just jittering and staying steadfast in his control, missing with a left with Sandhagen, missing with another left with Sandhagen, landing a low kick to the right leg. Yan leading with his right hand, low kick. Yan landing a low kick, but Sandhagen landing a straight left, a right.
Sandhagen appears to be finding his range fairly effectively right now at the start of this. Yan a little bit loath to throw.
And Sandhagen, once again, crouching down. We saw that earlier. Sandhagen crouching down to Yan, not using that height advantage to his advantage, just he's leveling out the playing field, but landing a straight right. Sandhagen switching up his stance again, maybe trying to feign for a takedown, gets inside, lands a right on Yan, kick to the body by Sandhagen, kick to the midsection by Sandhagen, almost clipped Yan in the dick and balls. 4 minutes left to go in round number 1. Yan controlling the center of the octagon, but Yan being caught, getting clipped a couple of times by Sandhagen, who is stepping in and keeping the pressure moving on the former bantamweight champion. Sandhagen with a left punch, not landing, lands with a low right kick. Kamaru Usman calling Cory Sandhagen a killer on the Twitter machine. Stepping right in is Sandhagen. Kick to the body by Sandhagen. Circling around again.
Sandhagen's looking pretty good right now.
Missing with a low kick was Yan.
Yeah, I mean, Yan just not throwing in volume.
Missing
beginning of the fight.
Yeah, and missing with an overhand left, trying to figure out the puzzle that is Cory Sandhagen. He is just throwing limbs at you, limbs akimbo, like it is the end of a key party. 3:13 left to go in the round. Low kick landed by Yan, but an overhand left landed by Sandhagen. Now landing some shots, a shot to the body. Yan stepping back. Sign of respect from Yan. Sandhagen landing a solid exchange there. Yan controlling the center of the octagon once again. 2:58 left to go. Kick to the body by the former champion. Inside savant kick, not landing by Yan. Coming inside with Sandhagen. He lands a couple of shots, but has to cover up and step away. 2:48 left to go in round number 1. Yan with a strong right followed by a left, not landing on the first shot, grazing with the second.
Jan's starting to look a little bit more comfortable, but the amount of dynamic angles that Sandhagen's coming in with, he's getting Jan repeatedly.
He's not as tightly compact as Jan, so he's using his limbs more. Low kick landed by Sandhagen, shooting in for the takedown. This one could be a bad idea, but Sandhagen having Jan pressing him up against the fence. A fucking bold strategy here, Brendan, eating a left hand for it. And now pressing Jan up against the fence, trying to Luther Campbell him with 2:10 left to go, and he will decide against it. Right hand landed by Jan and a kick to the body. Sandhagen getting a little bit of shots here from the former champion.
I am really impressed with Sandhagen in this fight so far. I did not think this was going to be close.
And Sandhagen landing an overhand left. Jan, landing an overhand left. Sandhagen trying to land punches and shots in bunches. Made a 45 left to go in the round. And pressure from the challenger to the former champion.
My God. I mean, it is the going low, going high, and coming in from different angles that is finding repeated success for Sandhagen.
Sandhagen landing a collection of shots on a huddled up Jan, both in standing in the center. Jan using his reach, which is weird because he's got the 4-inch reach at disadvantage. And now Sandhagen stepping in, smelling a little bit of blood. He has become quickly the aggressor in this fight in the first round. Minute 15 left to go in round number 1. And Sandhagen leading this one, in my opinion. 1:10 left to go in the round. And the man who has never held the title in the UFC acting the aggressor against the former champion. Knee blocked by Jan. But Sandhagen throwing at will here against a more reserved former champion.
These combinations are absolutely gorgeous, Matt. I mean, they're not overly significant in terms of damage, but he is having the output. He is having the significant strikes, and I got to give him the round right now.
Dan Partridge saying it best. Holy shit, Sandhagen is lighting up Jan. Jan landing 13 of 31, 42%. Sandhagen landing 33 of 70, 47%. Only a 5% difference, but the amount of output here from Sandhagen to Jan. Sandhagen shooting a single leg, but not able to get it. Great defense by Jan, who lands an elbow for his trouble. 20 seconds left to go in the round, and Jan in a little bit of trouble here, trying to keep it close, trying to steal the end of this round. A devastating leg kick by the former champion. Jan sending Sandhagen back, jumping knee by Sandhagen. Doesn't get all of it, but trying to show a little flash here, trying to make this a 10-9 round. And we will go to the second here in Abu Dhabi.
Jan managed to get 2 leg kicks in, low leg kicks that really seemed to fucking hurt Sandhagen. And being that lanky of a frame, that is some tight IT bands, that could end up being a strategy that pays out for Jan. But the output from Sandhagen has Jan not being able to implement a successful strategy at all.
No.
It's wild and unexpected, and kudos to the UFC matchmakers who didn't view this as a just straight up shellacking for Jan. I was wrong. I'm happy to admit that.
Ola Dembrovsky on Facebook saying, wow. So Wario is in the chat.
Thing.
Yeah. Wow. That's what I was thinking about being for Halloween this year.
Yeah.
Slutty Wario.
Yeah. Fuck.
I was slutty Steve Bannon a few years back.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It suited me. Round number 2 getting underway here in Abu Dhabi. Jan controlling the center of the octagon. Sandhagen pacing back, throws the first punch of the round. Lands a left hand. Low kick landed by Sandhagen. Jack Seymour saying his parlay is looking good. Gotta wonder what that parlay is, Jack. Let us know in the chat. Leading with the left is Sandhagen.
I don't bet, so I'm only thinking of Johnny Depp and Pirates of the Caribbean right now.
I'm thinking of Prop Joe on The Wire. Standing in the center of the octagon is Sandhagen, missing with an overhand right. Jan trying to throw some trace punches here. Kick to the body, missed by Sandhagen. Low kick landed by Sandhagen. 4:25 left to go in round number 2 of 5 for the vacant interim UFC Bantamweight title. Kick to the body, and Jan just stepping in with shots, throwing a couple of his own where Sandhagen, a few of those landed. We got a firefight overhand left landed by Jan. Caught Sandhagen in the back of the head. And moving right along, both of these fighters here were 4:08 left to go in the round, leading with the left, stepping in Sandhagen with 2 rights.
With this much output, usually I wonder how much it affects the gas tank, but at these lighter weight classes, they just seem to have infinite gas tanks. I'm very curious what this is going to look like in round 3 if we get there, and how much output Sandhagen can have. If he can keep this pace, he's got this fucking fight.
Kick to the body. Ooh, a kick to the ankle by Sandhagen after getting that shot to the ribs by Yan, stepping right in, and Sandhagen sent back a little bit after a shot by the former champion. Both men standing and trading in the center of the octagon. Punch to the ribs by Sandhagen. Now playing a little bit of keep away is Yan. Yan protecting himself just before an overhand left from Sandhagen. Sandhagen controlled the first round, lands a stiff right to the jaw of Yan. Low kick by Yan, but Sandhagen sends him back 31-7. Punches to the head. Sandhagen over Yan. 13-9 in Sandhagen's favor in shots to the body. Leg kicks 12-11. And there's another over body kick landed by Sandhagen. A shot kick blocked by Sandhagen to Yan. Yan tried to spin around and hit an Inzu. Did not land it. Low kick landed by Yan. But back and forth here, matriculating downfield is Sandhagen, utilizing that jab, landing shots to the head, outpacing him, as I said before, 31-6. This has been a really interesting turn of events here in round number 2.
And I still think it is anyone's fight, because if you look at Sandhagen's midsection, as Thurston brought up in the chat, it is lit the fuck up. The power that Yan is getting in there seems more significant from my view than what Sandhagen's putting out there. But Sandhagen is getting punches and bunches and a shit ton of kicks in there. So
it also doesn't help that Sandhagen does not tan, so he's got that like white papery skin.
Yeah.
So it shows better. But you also look at Yan, his midsection a little red, his back a little red. Like you can see, like the corpuscles are moving there. You look at the face, there is a redness there on Jan's, and that is not on Sandhagen's, even though he eats a left-right-left combination, and then another straight left from the former champion. 2 minutes left to go in the second round.
Oh my goodness. What a fucking fight.
Casey Maxwell saying Volkov, Islam, Sandhagen, and Yan equaling money. Decent parlay for you, sir.
Yeah.
Endor Madam, left hand landed by Sandhagen, minute 45 left to go in the round. Straight left landed by Sandhagen. Shot to the body, quick combination by Yan. Minute 40, spin back fist into an overhand left by the former champion. And now Sandhagen trying to control the wrist, steps right in with a right hand. Big opportunity here with 92 seconds left to go in the round. Yan trying to get the win here, try to steal this round, trying to make it even 10-10.
It is something right now where Yan is really starting to look a bit more comfortable, but fuck is Sandhagen throwing a bunch.
Sandhagen lands a kick to the back of the thigh. Minute 12 left to go in the round. Pressure mounting here. We are in round number 2 of 5 for the UFC interim bantamweight title. Shooting the leg is Sandhagen, and Yan T-bowing himself on top of Sandhagen.
Incredible
and Yan trying to lock in a guillotine here, trying to stand up with it, but Sandhagen finding a way out of it with 52 seconds left to go in the round.
Holy shit. I mean, incredible takedown defense by Petr Yan. I mean, that was beautiful, textbook and Chuck Liddell-esque.
Yeah. 40 seconds. A jumping knee by Sandhagen. Yan taking some disrespect to that. Blocked on that one, but it looked like it almost got through the defenses of Yan. 31 seconds left to go in the round. Trying to make something happen. Either fighter. Sandhagen won the first round, in our opinion. Maybe pulling the second round. And that whiskey, smooth but strong on our friend Brendan Sokler. Significant strikes, 27-33 in Sandhagen's favor here in round number 2. Overhand right not landed, but an overhand left landed by Yan on the Sandhagen.
I'm not one to judge when you're having that much fucking success, but Sandhagen has had his fists a bit low repeatedly right now as he's circling. I worry about that with a killer like Yan. I got to give that to Sandhagen again, but Jan's starting to look more comfortable, and the power of his shots is incredible, man.
But after a while, if Yan is still letting Sandhagen hit at that clip, you're losing points on the scorecard, and you're opening yourself up. Your only career loss outside of the DQ has come by way of decision, and you're going up against someone who lost a split decision back in July and is looking for it. Jay Smith asking if this is a 5-rounder. Yes, it is. Hakan saying 2-0 Sandhagen. Robert Ford betting on Makhachev, Chimaev, Yan, Volkov, and Yan.
Ryan Schuyler out there, one of my high school besties, saying that we're killing this.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
What
do you got, Shaq?
I just want to say Jan making the better adjustments from round 1 to round 2. I'm seeing a lot of the same stuff from Cory. Jan is really closing the deficit quickly. If his cardio holds up, he's already making better reads. He's pivoting. He's firing back with combos. I'm interested to see what round 3 looks like. I think it's going to be a really defining round for how the rest of the
I'd agree. This is going to be determinative. I do think this ends up going to decision, and what this round shakes out to be will be the tell-all. Because if Sandhagen can keep up this pace,
he's keeping the pressure going here at the start of round 3, stepping right in. Aaron Bronstetter, fellow Canadian. Oh yeah, Sandhagen gets Jan on his back feet, clips him in the jaw. Sandhagen trying to see water here.
This is the thing. When you get that many headshots, you're literally rattling the brain around in the skull, and he has shit tons of headshots.
But a spinning back kick, Jan missing hard with an overhand right. That had hell and brimstone written all over it, but whiffing on that one. But standing in the center of the octagon, Sandhagen landing a couple of shots to a covered up Jan. 4:15 left to go in round number 3 of 5. Overhand left, clipping Sandhagen by Jan. Jan stepping in with a right and then a left. Barely getting the second punch, landed the right fairly cleanly. 4:02 left to go in the round. And Sandhagen just trying to make use of that reach, trying to break through the defenses of Jan, who's basically turning into a Samba machine.
I mean, Jan's hand speed in blocking these is really fucking incredible, man.
Yeah, it is insane how he's able to do that by not blocking that low kick to the knee by Sandhagen. 3:43 left to go. And Jan has been making great adjustments, but Sandhagen, finding the openings. He's not moving at the speed we saw in the first 2 rounds, but he's maximizing his opportunities. So you can't really discount any adjustments he and his corner have made.
I mean, it's a 5-round fight, Matt, and we're in round 3. If he needs to conserve his energy, all he needs to do is keep out striking Jan.
Yeah.
Not necessarily keeping up with the pace that he set in the first 2 rounds. In fact, that might be inadvisable.
And an interesting tell there, Sandhagen charged in, feigning the takedown. Jan Olayed that shit. Mm-hmm. But it gave Sandhagen okay, he respects it now. He respects my takedown game.
Yeah. I mean, you have to respect Jan's takedown game.
No, I mean the other way around.
Oh, yeah, that as well.
Sandhagen stepping in, finding ways to just get inside Jan's kitchen, not landing strikes, but letting him know he's there, landing solid shots up 2 straight rights. Jan missing with an uppercut, overhand right though, landing preceded by an overhand left, but Sandhagen landing a few shots of his own, trying to outstrike each other here in round number 3. And right now I have it 2-0. You can make it 1-1, but right now I have it 20-18, and Jan throwing with impunity, but not landing much and tiring himself out and trying to throw everything he has here in the last 2:24 of round number 3, trying to get the finish.
When you miss a strike, you're exerting more energy and you're leaving yourself exposed. And Jan just had that repeatedly.
And he wasn't really planting his feet. He was extending, then planting.
Well, this is the thing when he doesn't have the reach advantage. He has to go that little extra inch, and that does make a difference.
2:02 left to go in the round. 3 of 5 for the interim UFC Bantamweight Championship. Winner will face Aljamain Sterling, hopefully, when he's recovered from his neck injuries. Sandhagen peppering with lefts and rights. Last 3 rights landed on covered up gloves, but landing a quick right, and you could see a welt starting to build around the right eye of Petr Yan. And this is an interesting fight for the former champion. Throwing some heavy hands there. Left-right combination, but Sandhagen walking right back into the conversation.
The hand speed of both these men is filthy.
and missing with that head kick attempt was Jan. Sandhagen looking less Cro-Magnon when you take a look at hematomas here. Jan building up slowly, starting to get Rocky Marciano'd around the face. Lands an overhand left. Lands another overhand left, but eats a right from the challenger.
The switching of stances by Sandhagen just then was
spinning back fist by Jan. Jan with a spinning back fist. Sandhagen is down. Sandhagen is down. He is trying to get out of this a jackknife situation. Now rolls onto his neck, trying to get out of this from Jan. Jan now with Sandhagen on his back, trying to consummate the marriage here and get his second run into an ankle lock by Sandhagen, who rolls out Jan. And Jan now trying to pull a guillotine on Sandhagen. Switches over into side control, landing devastating shots, gets the back of Sandhagen. Sandhagen peeled back down, rolled onto his back into a pseudo crucifix, trying to get out of this one. Is Sandhagen? He does. He grabs the hips of Jan and peels out of it in a close and contentious 3rd round. Rolling through is Sandhagen, who is getting pie gouged now by Jan. 26 seconds left to go. A knee by Yan standing in the center, and both men back up on their feet. A left hand by Yan. 15 seconds of fury left to go. Both men trying to steal this round. This might be the first round for Petr Yan.
Exchange. Absolutely beautiful work by Petr Yan. Will it be enough to take the fucking round? I don't know, because hot damn did Sandhagen defend that. What a round fight. What a round. And as Shaq said, third round probably being potentially determinant in this. Who the fuck do you even give that to?
That one's a 10-9 round for whoever walked away with it. Right now, I would see it 2-1 Sandhagen and Yan. If you're looking to be fair about it, I think the judges are going to give Yan that round because they couldn't give him the first two. And I think Yan did enough there to try to steal that third round.
You could say that, but there's also so much fucking striking out of Sandhagen and Yan overextending himself and missing repeatedly. I just don't know. And the amount of submission attempts by Yan also has to be factored into that. It is a toss-up for me.
We're going to take a look at the replay, but really quick shout out to Rafael Ruiz on Facebook. Amazing commentary. Made me stop looking for a video. Steelo 13.
Thanks, man.
Great shit here, fellas. Thank you. Crazy Trey saying, does it look like maybe a fourth round KO? It's entirely possible. Back fist from the future, followed up by that overhand left from Yan. That helped turn the corner in the round. Evan Digny, Hazmat calling out Nate Diaz in the post-fight interview.
My God.
Baby. And here we go at round number 4. We are in championship rounds. This is something Yan has experienced. Sandhagen has been in a 5-rounder before, but not with a title on the line, to my knowledge. It's for the interim UFC Bantamweight title. And right now, Sandhagen winning the first 2 rounds. The third one, a toss-up. Thank you, Gabriel. Left hand landed by Yan. Ryan landing a right hand. Sandhagen eating another left from Yan. Still standing. But jumping knee by Sandhagen. Sandhagen now getting dragged into the deep waters here in championship rounds, but lands a right-left combination to the ribs and jaw of Petr Yan. Petr Yan standing in the center of the octagon, missing with an overhand right. Loud, caustic conversation here. Matt Ryan, Brendan Sokler calling the action for you.
My God, the strikes seemingly that have been landing at the top of this round have been very fucking significant as they both staggered.
A right-left combo by Yan, sending Sandhagen's head back like it was September in Dallas.
Sandhagen has to get his fucking fists up. I get that he's going in for all these weird dynamic angles, but he's got to protect the head.
I also fucked up the reference. It's November. Dallas in November. Right hand landed by Sandhagen.
Sandhagen throwing lefts, rights, not really landing anything. Still trying to find range in this moment. Yan responding with shots to the face.
Back and forth fight here. We are in the 4th round, 3:28 left to go. Matt Ryan joined by Brendan Sokler, Shakiel Mahjouri on the other side of the continent. On the other side of the glass, Stephanie Sotilli, our live studio audience, and a fat baby. 3:19 left to go in the round. Yan trying to pressure Sandhagen, get him closer and closer to the fence here. The former champion looking to get a title back in a rematch with Aljamain Sterling. Left-right combination by Sandhagen, who we were all fading heading into this fight, but he is up 2-1 according to the unofficial scorecards we're drawing up in the basement. Yan right-left combination looking to even it up here with 2:55 left to go in the round.
Yan is looking more and more comfortable, and right now this looks to be his round so far. I mean, we're almost halfway through it, and he is really just landing punches and punches and fantastic hits.
But do you think that he took too much time? Because a lot of people could make that third round for Sandhagen, except for the last 90 seconds, and Yan getting taken down by Sandhagen. But right now, Sandhagen pulling into an ankle lock, twitches it around, gets right back up at Sandhagen, taking the back of Yan. Both men standing now. Yan almost in the Luther Campbell position, trying to fight out of it. Almost going to our hip toss was Yan. Yan covering up, both men back standing.
The wrestling and BJJ IQ of both these men
is
delicious. So fucking
it's
high.
So good right now.
Oh, this is why we watch MMA. This type of fight.
Both men standing in the center of the octagon. Left hand landed. Right hands landed by Sandhagen. 2 minutes left to go in the 4th round. Rights, lefts by Yan to Sandhagen. Spinning back fist missed, and a quick combination landed by Yan after Sandhagen missed that back fist. Lefts and rights landed by Yan. Controlling this round, a minute 47 left to go. Yan might have had some points taken away after that takedown by Sandhagen, but trying to make up for it here in the last 100 seconds of the round.
That takedown made this round a toss-up.
And if you want to watch along, if you're at home wanting to watch along with us, click the link in the description. Body strikes, Yan landing 23 in this fight. But you got to take a look at the head strikes and Sandhagen bouncing off the corner after a shots by the former champion. Minute 21 left to go in the round. Trying to make something out of this either fighter. Sandhagen starting to look tired. Yan missing with the spinning back fist. Sandhagen trying to take advantage of it, but missing with a forearm.
Yeah. This has to be Jan's round, but goddamn.
Right, left, right combination by the former champion. Just straight shots to the dome and another takedown attempt by Sandhagen. Jan stuffs it. Now going for the back. Now trying to pull for the submission, but Sandhagen trying to find a way to grapple out of it, building his own tomb as if he were President Grant, trying to make something happen here as Petr Yan with 44 seconds left to go, picking the ankle from the bottom is Sandhagen, trying to roll out of this, a potential crucifix attempt by Yan. Yan with the trip takedown, both men up. Yan landing a left to the jaw of Sandhagen. 31 seconds left to go. Right-left combination by the former champion. Both men tired. Sandhagen bow-legged and bent over, trying to get enough oxygen the last 20 more seconds in a round that might be evening this one up before the fifth and final.
My God. I mean, Yan in championship rounds showing why he was the fucking champ. This is an incredible round for Petr Yan and a necessary one for him to stay in this fight, Matt.
Yeah, this one is the thing that turns the tide for Yan here, and we're going to find out in the next 5 minutes who walks out with the interim bantamweight title, who has a claim at the crown at 135 pounds. Jessica Lee saying these guys are better than any WWE commentator. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take it. Yeah,
do you know CPR? Someone's asking in the chat.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yes, that was a Grant's Tomb reference.
Yeah. Jesus, Matt, my tongue would fall out if I was doing what you're doing. My God. It'll make a lady very happy one of these days. Shaq, thoughts on the fight?
Wow, what a fight. It's like we said, that third round was pivotal, and Petr Yan was able to close the gap, make the better adjustments, and like we thought, Sandhagen's having a really tough time countering those adjustments. He's trying with his wrestling and the elbows, but I was just about to tweet, I feel like Sandhagen is so well-rounded and so dynamic, but there's this like last gear missing in these really pivotal moments that a champion needs. And Petr Yan, like we said, he takes some damage early as he figures out his opponent, but once he has those reads and he builds his confidence, dude, he's scary. He is so scary once he figures out his opponent.
Coming into this fifth round looking utterly frightening is Petr Yan. Circling are both men center of the octagon, controlled by Petr Yan presently. Sandhagen looks to have his gas back.
Yeah.
So this is going to be an interesting fucking round.
And Yan controlling the center of the octagon. Thank you, Jeffrey Rouse, for your comment on Facebook. Over 30 seconds gone by. Sandhagen looking tired here. Both men looking a little verklempt and a little versnickered. At 4:21 left to go. Trying to lead with that right hand, switching his stance is Sandhagen, switching between southpaw and traditional. Yan missing heavy with a punch. Sandhagen wasn't able to get back up on it. Low kick that was devastating on by Yan to Sandhagen. Yan putting the pressure on, slowly smothering and covering Sandhagen as if he were the Waffle House menu. 4:01 left to go. Yan keeping the pressure on Sandhagen. Sandhagen with the flying knee, using his reach for some good. 3:55 left to go. Just punch, quick combination by Yan. Sandhagen has to play keep away in this last 3:47 to try to sneak out a 3-2 win over Petr Yan.
But that's even up in the air, Matt, because that third round was such a crazy fucking toss-up. What he needs to be doing.
Oh, beautiful kick checked by Sandhagen. Tried to lead him in with the left hand, but Yan using his power just to pivot off of that with his right leg.
Sandhagen needs to go back to the well and find that sort of high velocity, high volume amount of strikes that he had in the first two rounds.
That's great for 3 rounds, but once you go into
the fifth, it's really hard to get that going again.
But Sandhagen getting into it a little bit, throwing hands with Yan, feeling more aggressive, feeling more bouncy. He knows he is 3-10 away from winning a title, the huge underdog in this fight, trying to make something happen with 3:03 left to go. And we're not talking about that emo band from the early 2000s.
God damn it, Matt. Sandhagen looking like he has his gas tank back, but Jan looking like he's found his fucking groove. The last minutes of this fight are going to be determinant of who the fuck.
Yeah, this is a real Angela Bassett situation, but you see the hematoma, the redness in the middle of the forehead of Petr Yan. You can see it right down the face, a red line just running down the face of Cory Sandhagen, who is a mix of maroon and paste right now. Missing is Jan with some heavy combinations, 2.5 left to go.
Oh my God. Jan throwing a leg kick to the body, not successful.
But Sandhagen getting into a grappling match with Jan. Don't know who's going to win that one, but Jan landing an overhand left. Not able to make anything happen here, but looking like the lost Wahlberg brother.
Seriously,
just strolling around landing shots.
Their wrestling is so comparable. Like these exchanges are fucking incredible. I love it. I love it. Both men tentative, circling.
Minute 54 left to go in the 5th and final round to decide the Bantamweight champion. Jan with a head kick, barely blocked by Sandhagen, who throws a couple of faint right jabs. Jan kind of enticing him to come in. Low kick landed by Jan. Minute 40 left to go. Oh, downstairs, upstairs. Jan landing 2 shots, but Sandhagen meeting him up. Jan grabbing the fence for a second. Might have hurt himself on those punches. He might be a little more tentative with 90 seconds left to go. Sandhagen stepping in, landing a shot to the body.
Sandhagen's really got to put out some high volume in this last minute 30 to just capitalize on the momentum that he had from the first 3 rounds.
And you got to wonder if changing strategies to face someone like Aljamain Sterling and switching to face the Sandhagen, is that something that had an effect on him?
Absolutely. Yes. Sandhagen is a dynamic fighter and a weird ass fighter at that. It is hard to prepare for that on short notice.
And we got 1 minute remaining. Right-handed and overhand left landed by Jan. This round's more of a toss-up. Right now, I have it favored for Sandhagen because Jan has not been able to break through and dominate the round.
I would agree with that.
Sandhagen playing keep away here. Left to the jaw by Jan. 45 seconds left to go in the 5th and final round. Straight right landed. Overhand left blocked by Sandhagen. Shot to the body landed by Sandhagen. Landing a straight right after an uppercut attempt blocked. Jan landing a few shots here, but 33 seconds left to go. Trying to pull off the steal here. Trying to steal this one in Abu Dhabi. Overhand left, trying to send that belt airmail back to the U.S. Spinning back fist and a right. The back fist lands. Pardon me, it was an elbow, but the punch does not by Jan. 18 seconds left to go. Devastating left to the jaw of Sandhagen. Both men are going to look worse for wear on the flight home. Flying knee landed by Sandhagen. That might be the indicator here, being able to land those big shots. Olive is excited. I'm excited. We're going to go to the final 3 seconds. Spinning head kick. But Sandhagen says, fuck you. Walks into it. And we end with a firefight. And we're going to the scorecard.
That was the shit.
God damn.
I loved that fight. Hot damn. You know what? Petr Yan, out of my shithead category. There we go. Done and done.
Give those men the $50,000. We were talking about Makhachev earlier in the night, but
holy fuck balls. Yeah, that was goddamn glorious.
Hakan saying on the instant feedback, Sandhagen 48-47. And interesting, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Gentlemen, let's go around the horn really quick. Shaq, we'll start with you. Who do you have winning this fight?
I got really nervous when they kept swinging after the bell. I didn't know where that was going, but maybe it was loud in there because it didn't even seem like the referee heard it at first. I'm going to go closer, 5th round for sure. I think it's pretty clear. First 2 rounds, Sandhagen. 3 and 4 goes to Jan. I'm going to give that 5th round to Jan just because he landed the cleaner of the hard shots. We saw Sandhagen, jump in with some of those big knees, but it was that head kick from Jan that landed so clean. It was that punch that he landed. I think it was like an overhand right or a right cross that immediately kind of worsened the swelling on Sandhagen's cheek. I'm going to say 48-47, Petr Yan. And Aljo, watch out, bro.
Oh, Jesus, fuck. I mean, incredible fight. I have Sandhagen because I gave him the 3rd, maybe the 5th.
I think I give him the 5th. I gave him the first 2. I think it's really close here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a draw. I would not be surprised if we see a draw here.
I wouldn't either.
Taking a look at the chat, Michael Ferrado, thank you so much for your kind words. Tiger 5000 saying rematch. We agree. Run this one back. Alexander 252. Yes, he can, but he needs to get better at wrestling. I don't know who that's in regards to.
Who needs to get better at wrestling? That was incredibly high level BJJ and wrestling out of both men.
We're going to go to the scorecards here. They're brought to you on the UFC broadcast by ZipRecruiter. This is brought to you by Catalyst Wrestling. Please buy tickets to our next show.
Yeah.
Olive needs money. CatalystWrestling.com this Friday night in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey for more information.
On through. It's going to be so fun.
Unanimous decision, 49-46. Petr Yan. Unanimous decision,
Wow.
49-46.
In what fucking world?
Are we in Montreal?
Yeah, screw job. No, this is.
You can give Petr Yan the win. That's the third,
but
fourth,
those
and fifth.
scorecards.
49-46.
No goddamn
They gave
sense.
him what? They gave Sandhagen a round. 1 round. Good job, guys.
damn it.
Good job,
Yeah.
scorecard.
Way to go! Good for you. Get Christian Bale over here to yell at those fucking judges.
That's bad. You can give Petr Yan the win.
I'm okay with that.
But a split decision. A split decision.
Split decision, a
at
draw.
most.
I mean, give me those fucking fight metrics because that's
I
bullshit.
will pull them up. I'm going to give it a second to catch up.
Thanks, Shaq.
Yeah, taking a look at the chat.
I was
Houdini
saying that.
that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Gumpla_gamer. Wow. Alexander 252. Ridiculous. Sounds wrong listening to you guys. Alexander 252. Trash judges. Yeah, that's a weird one. If you're watching along and you think we're wrong, we're just translating what we see.
Right. I personally had Sandhagen winning that goddamn fight.
Yeah, I don't heading into the fourth round, it was 3-1.
I don't understand how you could have judged it that way. Like, you can give Petr Yan the win. I think that's understandable. The third was up in the air. The fifth was up in the air. And he really found a fucking groove. Good for him. Sandhagen got fucking robbed in terms of that scorecard. Shenanigans, bullshit, what the fuck? Something's rotten in the state of Denmark. And by Denmark, I mean Fight Island.
Yeah.
I have a Hamlet glass.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, this is cool. I need to know where y'all got this.
Etsy.
Nice. That's cool as fuck.
Not Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Rowan Sharp saying, I was thinking that was a split decision for Yan. Everybody else here thought that was a split decision for Yan. Jay Smith, well, I'm not going to argue that it made me some money.
Yeah. Goddamn. It was such a close fight. It is a shame that it got just that way. And
Shakiel Ali saying, alcoholic bum. Us? Yan? Sandhagen? Batman? Don Knotts?
I'm glad that you're having a fun time putting people down. Your life must be fun. Any hoozle, we get to call fights for a living.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Jan with his kid. That's not Hazmat.
No, that's his son.
That's his son. Okay, we're good with that. Congrats to Petr Yan.
Congrats to everybody who bet on Petr Yan.
Yeah, and I think it is a mark of a champion to be able to take those types of adjustments and really implement game plan. This is we say often in MMA, this is human chess, and when you watch someone like a Petr Yan do this sort of stuff, you realize that game plan is so much a part of it. It's not just instinct. It's not just a trained skill. It is being able to implement a game plan and execute on it. And he did that excellently. Did he do it to get 49-46? No. Fucking no. So
49-48, maybe? Shout out to Jason Hero from Denmark. Casey Maxwell saying it
glass
makes
to you from Denmark.
It makes you feel gross. I don't know what he's speaking about.
I think just the
Yeah.
decision, the way that the judges called it, and having to look at Sandhagen and just crestfallen after this. Like we can't hear his commentary. Shaq is listening in on that, I assume.
Yes.
It's disheartening to have that type of judging. Who the fuck are these guys? What Mr. Magoo's have they employed to have them call
let's
that?
see. They have hired Adelaide Bird.
Oh, Lord.
Joe Martinez. Oh no, I'm sorry. The baseball. I forgot. The baseball umpire who's terrible. He was forced to retire this year. Somebody out there will.
Yeah,
have it right.
seriously. No,
I ruined my own bit. I'm gonna go take a walk of shame.
Yeah, go take a walk of shame. These guys can eat my ass after a marathon. Fuck them all. I'm so pissed off.
As you should be. Everybody should be.
Yeah, I mean,
Our studio audience is pissed off, and they don't even watch fights.
yeah, no, seriously, it is rude. It was wrong, but a hell of a fight. And frankly, I know it's an interim title fight, and you want to put Jan against Aljamain. I mean, Shaq, do you run it back?
Yes, you run that shit back.
Sandhagen Yan?
Yeah, run that back.
Jan, yeah,
No,
Sandhagen
because-
Jan before Sterling. even.
No, because while I understand that people are upset with the scorecard, you guys talked about earlier the fact that it's more than conceivable that Jan won that fight, whether it be a split decision or 3-2. It just like maybe it's a bad scorecard, but I'm not convinced that the bad scorecard meaningfully altered who would have won the fight. You know what I mean?
I mean,
And for
Shaq, do you have the fight metrics up just in terms of?
yeah, I'm still waiting for them to update. I've been bringing up on the screen. We only have, let me refresh one more time. Okay, we have 4 rounds so far.
Great.
Round 1, Sandhagen outstruck Jan 37-19. Good to keep in mind though that this is just what the judges don't have access to this. Round 2, Jan outstruck Sandhagen 38 to. Actually, okay, sorry. So these bars are made by percentage, I guess. So let me make sure I got this right. Jan 1937. Okay, so round 1 it was 37-19 for Sandhagen. Round 2 was 45-38 for Sandhagen. Round 3, 37-36 for Sandhagen. Round 4, 36-25. I will say percentage-wise, Jan far more effective, 57% landed versus 39% overall. And yeah, so that's where we're at.
I mean, his accuracy was high. He threw less though.
Jan threw much less, yes.
Yeah, like, oh, cool. You connected with your less strikes.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, I don't know that I agree with the scorecard. I just think that
yeah,
it was conceivable enough that Jan won that fight that I don't know how you justify Sandhagen getting a rematch, especially when we need to clear up.
I think that's a fair assessment, Jack.
I think if Sterling's still out for a while, what this really does open up though is Jan versus TJ Dillashaw. If Dillashaw's recovery happens sooner than Sterling's, but they're both out injured, so I don't really know. I mean, maybe there's a situation where Rob Font's in the wing. You need to give Rob Font the next shot if Sterling and Dillashaw
well, what
are
if we
out for a
put
long
Rob
time.
Font against Sandhagen?
That'd be a great fight.
Co-main.
That'd be an amazing fight. I think.
And if someone gets injured, bump his ass up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I think that would be fair.
It's also just like both these guys were coming off a loss, which I thought was funny, but it made sense that these two guys should fight for a title. I also think it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf at this point. It's like Sandhagen lost to Sterling, he strung together some wins, then he lost to Dillashaw, now he lost to Jan. So I'd be a little troubled if you take a guy now with 2 consecutive losses and put him back in a title shot.
You know, I think that's a really fair assessment, Jack, with some salient points. But
that's what I do.
There's a reason we keep the man around who makes everyone go, oh, Canada.
Let's take a look at the chat real quick. Pinder Bhupinder, driving from Warsaw to Krakow tonight. Thank you so much for the commentary, lads. Totally electric. Shot Mix Yamagawa saying, good job calling the fights, guys. Thank you. $20 donated by PJ Simpson.
Thanks, PJ.
Thank you, buddy. Michael Ferrado, shouting us out. Casey Maxwell saying the way he got robbed. Cory did not win that fight 4-1, if anything, for Peter. Shot Mix Yamagawa saying it. Volume versus power coming in from Houdini.
Yeah.
Shaq says, you look, Bartsakian Maratov says you look like Pete Davidson. Shaq?
Yeah, I get that quite a bit, and Pete Davidson almost had Ariana Grande in a bag, so I'll take that every day.
Like,
That's
every
a
day of the
win.
week.
That's a win.
Yes, sir.
Brendan looks like Macaulay Culkin. I look like Fatty Arbuckle after the autopsy. So Gabriel Cuerva saying, love you guys. We love you too.
You self-deprecating piece of shit.
Yeah, the joke was there.
Yeah, no, I'll take it.
Everybody on this show is pretty in one way or another. 146,000 people have watched this so far today. So thank you if you joined us for 1 second, or if you've been riding with us all the way through. Please like, comment, follow, and subscribe. There is Jan Blachowicz getting ready for his title fight. Purcha saying, when is Blachowicz versus Teixeira going to begin? They're in the video package for it now, so God willing, we'll get that started in the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. But be sure, if you're watching us on YouTube, to like, comment, follow, and subscribe. Ring the notifications bell.
There was just this brief moment of watching Jan Blachowicz with actual boxing gloves that's happening right now.
Yeah.
That look like watermelons.
Yeah.
And I find that charming.
Jay Smith saying, man, I know where I'm going when I'm not buying a pay-per-view. Why not both?
Yeah, you can do both.
You can do both.
Find
Mute the
yourself a girl
commentary.
who can do both. You can be that girl, Jay. I mean, I don't know. Fuck.
Boom Howard saying, if Glover beats Jan, I will run around my block ass naked. Okay, so Boom, Howard, follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
At Shaq_Fu, at Brendan Sokler, at Steph Sotillion, at M Ryan Consulting, and tweet that video.
Yeah, because I think it might happen. It might be a guillotine.
It could happen.
I don't see Glover winning in the strikes. I think it's close. I can see Glover winning on the ground.
Jay Smith saying, I live in the South. Saturday afternoons are for football. Yes, the people in the NCAA are paid as much as UFC fighters collectively. So, you know, it aligns itself.
Why you gotta hurt me, baby girl? Jesus.
NILs, baby. Got the Alabama quarterback making more every year than Glover Teixeira. Ain't that about a bitch? Also, they're not going to get buy rates for this show because it's not on pay-per-view.
I hate it here. That's my take. It's so spicy. But
let's give a hand for capitalism, everybody. A round of applause for capitalism.
The real winner of the night.
The shareholders of WME.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. How old is Glover Teixeira?
Somewhere in between Oezdemir and Father Time.
What?
I was trying to get Vanderlei out of my mouth, but I started laughing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, let's talk about Glover Teixeira. He's won his last 5 fights, 3 including his last win over common opponent Thiago Santos by submission. Lost in his only other UFC light heavyweight title fight against John Jones back in 2014. Big wins against Anthony Smith, Ian Kuntalaba, and Carl Roberson.
Yeah, I love Glover Teixeira. I am so happy he's on the run that he's on. I think he is a better fighter now than when he fought John Jones. Mm-hmm. And I think he stands a more real chance of winning than he did when he fought John Jones, frankly.
Yeah, but then now he's going up against the winner of his last 5. 3 of them earned performance of the night bonuses. His last 2 wins were over Dom Reyes to win the title by TKO and a unanimous decision over Israel Adesanya to hold on to his title back in March.
In a hell of an impressive performance.
Yep.
Like, gorgeous. We love it. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what Jan brings in this fight. Both these men have really won me over. I like them both so much. Why does Dad have to fight Dad? Why does Dad lose? Whose dad is beating up who? Fuck.
And this returns us to the daddy versus zaddy argument we had earlier.
Yeah. Who do you think wins, Daddy or Zaddy? Glover is 42. So one
looks every bit of it.
Yeah,
but he's got the most finishes in division history, tied for the second most wins in division history at 15, 4th most significant strikes in division history with 744.
You know, this could be his last shot. Likely is his last shot. And what a storybook 3rd act of his career if he can pull this off.
Yeah.
I like the story. Jan has been an incredible champion. maybe this is what comes out of it. But
maybe this dream.
Jan is such a tough customer, and that showing that he had against a game Israel Adesanya.
Yeah.
Like, Jan won that because he was incredible, but also because he had the weight and power over Adesanya. I'm not convinced that an Adesanya that actually decided to truly go up in weight would have lost that fight. But that's a hypothetical. I don't fucking know. Who knows? MMA math makes no goddamn sense.
Nope, not in the least bit.
But we have Glover Teixeira in the octagon waiting for the champion.
Ethan Forster saying, what do you guys think? TKO, KO, or decision?
Yeah,
I'm ready. Jan Blachowicz via TKO.
What, you got Blachowicz by TKO?
Yeah. He's gonna smoke Glover, and I love Glover. I want Glover to win, but Jan's gonna smoke him.
Yeah, I have Glover by submission.
Interesting.
Just because I'm like, I want it. I think this is my heart.
I've got Blachowicz. I got him by some sort of stoppage. Teixeira's never been submitted, but I do believe that Blachowicz will find a way to get the knockout here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. My head says that.
Yeah.
My heart says guillotine by Teixeira.
Yeah, you know,
give it to me.
Live your life.
Yeah.
We have had over 148,000 people hang out with us today. We got a few hundred joining us right now. Thank you so much from wherever you are in the world for watching this main event. Crazy Trey saying by third round KO. I'm assuming by Jan. Rowan Sharp calling Jan by KO. Brandon Glover, my last name is his first name. He.
That's fun. Good for you, Brandon.
Troy Spencer calling Jan by early second round TKO.
Yeah, I mean, these two throw heavy fucking leather. Yeah. Like, good Lord, would I not want to be on the end of one of these? Yeah.
They're going to hurt each other. Puka's asking, where are you guys from? Well,
Northern Virginia.
New York City. Shaq is from Canada.
Oh, why do you guys get cities and I just get a country? That's rude.
Because to us Americans, everything outside of here is
just the Bret Hart rule. You can't job in Canada.
Yeah. Yeah, Shaq, what part of Canada do you hail originally from?
Born in Montreal, but moved to Vancouver when I was 6 months old. Family's from Iran. I'm a bossed up motherfucker, so that's me.
Hell yeah. Cool. Steph, where do you originally hail from?
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
I'm so sorry.
Where dreams go to die.
Yeah. Listen.
That's actually what the Chamber of Commerce voted on.
And old people.
Truly. One of the best parts of Florida, though, which is, saying you're like the sexiest possum in the garbage can. But,
You got Rowan Sharp from Tennessee. PJ Simpson saying Shaq _true on your prediction.
I once heard someone describe Adam Cole as the sexiest possum in the dumpster, and he knows it.
That's fair.
And I could not find on the internet who the fuck said it. But
speaking of sexy rodents, it's time for the tail of the tape. Blachowicz 38, Teixeira 42, both at 6'2", both at 205 pounds, and the reach is 78 inches to 76 inches in Blachowicz's favor. That's really the only thing outside of age he's got going for him when you're looking at just the tail of the tape between both of these fighters.
Pinder saying Jan by corner, stop it.
Jesus.
Rude.
Well, he is a member of the Polish tribe.
Yeah.
Anybody else want pierogies after this?
Fuck yes.
I am down for a pierogi.
I lived in Greenpoint for 5 years, baby. I know me a good pierogi.
Crazy Trey saying, I'd say first round, but Glover's got heart. Dan Partridge, what do you do with Glover if he loses? I don't know, but Ben Cartledge, Howard Hughes, and Clemens Warner are the judges for this fight.
I wouldn't mind Glover going up a weight class, frankly.
Personally, I want, win or lose, I want to see Glover retire, especially if he wins. Get the title. He's old, man. It's time to smoke some cigars and tell some stories with Luke.
What happens if his blue son Grover takes over?
Well,
Grover
Second coming, man. Second coming.
Yeah. Grover Teixeira. God. Super Grover Teixeira.
Oh, no, undefeatable.
Yes.
That one.
Troy Spencer, whose commentary is on the show tonight. It is Daniel Cormier, John Anik, and the other redhead. Paul
Felder.
Paul Felder, yeah. We came first and 82nd in in that lookalike contest. Glover Teixeira fighting out of Danbury, Connecticut, a bleak town.
Is it weird?
It's got a railroad museum.
I don't know if that gives him an advantage because there's nothing else to do there, or a disadvantage. Sorry to all our Connecticut fans. They don't have it.
Cold Cat, Polish Freaking Power in Krakow. We're calling Blachowicz Mr. Train Master King.
Mr. Train Master King?
That's his hip hop name.
I like it.
He does his own version of Mr. Vane. It's weird.
Jan looks like Josh Barnett's little brother.
I was about to say in the video package, why are they showing B-roll of Josh Barnett? But it was Blachowicz, so I shut up. But he looks like light heavyweight Josh Barnett.
Yeah, Blachowicz face Moxley at a blood sport. I want to see it.
Fuck, I'd watch that.
I'd watch the fuck out of that. Oh my.
Mark Goddard will be the referee in this one. Thank God.
Thank God, Dard.
Ben Hemo saying, please tell me. I don't know what you want me to tell you, Ben, but
tell you why. Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Ain't nothing but a mistake.
I love us. Anyway,
it's the main event, and it's time. We want it that way. It's Teixeira, Blachowicz, and here we go. Round number 1. Both men will touch gloves in the center of the octagon. Low kick by the champion, leading with a straight left. He's going to try to make it an early night. It is late as shit in Abu Dhabi. Overhand right, missed by Teixeira. Straight left landed by Teixeira. Low kick landed by Blachowicz. 4:42 left to go in the round for the champion and challenger. Round 1 of 5 for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship.
Blachowicz with a much wider stance, one that is more akin to doing leg kicks.
Teixeira shooting for a takedown after missing wild with a right. Blachowicz trying to stop it here, but Teixeira finding a base and getting the champion down, but the champion trying to pull a Kimura. Now side control by the challenger, having his legs wrapped around the right leg of the champion. Now trying to find a way out of it, a variation of a Thez press here by Teixeira as Blachowicz has his legs wrapped around the challenger. Just under a minute gone by, and it is getting real interesting here in Abu Dhabi.
I mean, the ground game and who can win that could be determinant in this fight. Both men very proficient in their BJJ.
Askelaus Wildfire asking which of you is the man. Whichever one is currently banging your mom. 3:44 left to go in the first round. Teixeira in control here. The champion trying to find a way to fight out of this here.
Damn. I mean, incredible defense by Jan right now. He's grapevine both legs, crisscross. You can't really advance right now if you're Teixeira. It's also taking a bit of your breath support when you're having that wrapped around the ribs like that.
Yeah, but then also Teixeira is just laying on top of him, making the breath more labored for Blachowicz. 3:13 left to go in the round. Blachowicz landing some solid shots. Both men trying to figure each other out in an intricate game of human 4D chess.
Yes, truly. And it's something where it takes a lot of effort for both these fucking guys. I think what could be determinant in this, since the submission game is being at a stalemate, is can Glover get some ground and pound shots in here to possibly advance position?
As long as that arm is isolated, Teixeira is at a disadvantage. He's able to wiggle it out here, but now pressing the shoulders, trying to jackknife Blachowicz here is Teixeira, and now grabbing the neck, pulling behind with that left arm, trying to control the neck of Blachowicz. The champion finding a way out of it.
And it's not a fight finishing move that he's doing, but it does make Blachowicz uncomfortable. And when you do that, your heart rate starts to go, your breath starts to go. You might be able to catch Blachowicz not thinking as clearly as he needs to be.
And Blachowicz with 2:16 left to go at a severe disadvantage. But based on the judging in that last fight, who the hell knows what the hell's going to happen?
Who the fuck knows? Please don't let this go to the scorecards. Good God almighty.
Smothered and covered here is the defending champion, facing a different kind of fighter than the last two people he faced, at least in terms of size. Adesanya tall, but not as thick. And Dom Reyes, not thick. Yeah, he's thick, but not necessarily in the way that would do him advantage in this fight. Minute 45 left to go in the round. Dan Parcher saying Jan looks so scary when he's in the cage. But right now he is looking at the lights and he is caught. Oh, he almost caught Teixeira from the bottom in a submission.
Yeah. Dawood is saying fucking Muppets. Yes.
I guess we're Muppets.
no arguments there. What a stalemate we have on the ground. I mean, it's interesting how well Jan's defense has been on this.
Yeah, he's been able to stymie Teixeira from doing anything, but this is not the fight we expected. This might be Teixeira's game plan. Get Blachowicz on the ground, some forearms there, try to initiate ground and pound. But he is like molasses right now. He is just all over his opponent and not able allowing Teixeira to get any space, any moves, any openings with under a minute left to go in round one.
But with octagon control being a factor of this, you have to be giving this to Teixeira. And it's a secondary set of muscles that you have in your legs that are allowing you to close like that. How long can Blachowicz keep that up?
Well, he's been doing it for nearly like 3 minutes of this round, 3 minutes and change. We're at the 35-second mark now in the first round. Blachowicz needs to turn over. He has not been able to do anything but live on his back like he was Johnny Rods in the 80s. 25 seconds left to go now. And Blachowicz just at a huge disadvantage here. And it looks like Teixeira has figured out how to stymie the champion. It's just going to be a slow crawl to try to pull a victory, pull a submission. Now pulling the neck, trying to go for something here, pulling the neck in, trying to go for a variation of what feels like a neck crank on the head of Blachowicz, but Blachowicz finding a way out of it, and Glover Teixeira walking away with a 10-9 round, and Teixeira helping up Blachowicz.
Yeah, a show of respect from two championship caliber athletes. And, you know, the neck crank thing, I think is a brilliant move by Teixeira, and the amount of octagon control that he had, I got to give him that round. But it is a stalemate right now on the ground. I don't think Teixeira, my prediction is fucked. I don't think that he's going to pull off a submission.
Well, there goes the first round bet everybody was talking.
Yeah, Jesus, fuck.
Jason Hero saying Zach Galifianakis as an MMA commentator is cool. Thank you.
I've gotten that comment too, so who's to say? I don't know. Maybe it was in reference to Shaq. Shaq, you get called Zach Galifianakis often?
Cannot say that I do.
Say that I do. It starts today. Shaq, any spicy takeaways in about 3 seconds before the round starts?
No, he got a takedown. He held him there. 10-9 Glover. Bye.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Here we go. Round number 2. Blachowicz taking a deep sigh, like back into the fucking breach. And here we go. Round number 2. Straight left landed by Blachowicz. The champion needs to keep this fight upright or keep himself out of a situation where he gets octopused by Teixeira. Leading with that left hand, the champion trying to get inside. He's got the height and reach advantage. Missing with the right hand was Teixeira.
Charlene asking if we're enjoying today's fights. Answer, yes.
Yes, very much so.
Dope.
Single leg attempt. Blachowicz trying to fight out of it. Spins his way out, lands a back fist on the hands of Teixeira.
Every fight starting on their feet, I would expect Jan to be doing better on said feet.
Yes. Landing that stiff left. Dick hurts with a an octopus comment. Thank you so much. And thank you, Charlene, for your kind words.
Kind words, yes.
Glover and Blachowicz throwing left hands like the end of Rocky 3. Back is front fist and a back fist by Blachowicz.
Both men landing very powerful shots. Not much defense happening except in terms of grappling.
Yep, and now a double underhook attempt. Now getting the back reverse waistlock, a Magnum TA-esque belly-to-belly attempt here from either fighter, but Blachowicz maintaining the underhooks, kneeing the inside of Teixeira's thigh. 3:31 left to go in round number 2 of 5 for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship.
The underhooks can be particularly dangerous, Matt. If you dig the forearm into the triceps like Glover was doing, you can really cut into the muscle.
But Blachowicz landing a beautiful uppercut might have tilted Teixeira for a second. Teixeira again going for the takedown. Blachowicz stuffing that one. And now both men standing in the center of the octagon. 3:05 left to go. Left hand landed by Teixeira. Looking for any opportunity to turn this fight around is the champion who landed a straight left. Might be leading this round. And Blachowicz gets caught by Teixeira with the right hand. He caught him first, but Teixeira followed through and sent Blachowicz' brain bouncing around inside that noggin of his, but landing a couple of shots as the champion as he's trying to get his win back. He is in trouble. Blachowicz stuffing a takedown by Teixeira, but gotta wonder if he's going to be able to finish it here. Takes it through. Teixeira gets the takedown, and now the champion in trouble as Teixeira inside control, maybe trying to pull a Kimura, and the champion huddled up here in the fetal position, trying to avoid a beatdown from the challenger.
Now, this is a different position than earlier, Matt. We have Jan up against the cage. The pressure is there in a very different way, and Glover has passed through control.
Oh, he's got the back.
Choke attempt.
He's got the back. He's going to try to pull the RNC. The right hand is around the throat, and it's over. Jan Blachowicz gets tapped, and Glover Teixeira is the king of 205 pounds, in and out, upside down, and we've got a new champion.
Ooh, Glover Teixeira by submission. Someone was very right today.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Glover Teixeira's family elated. Blachowicz put in one hell of a fight, but Teixeira had the playbook ready, had it set, and that first takedown turned everything around. And Glover Teixeira, at 42 years old, has reached the pinnacle of the 205-pound division. And I have an odd feeling Daniel Cormier is kind of doing some light stretching and commentary.
One could hope. I think that would be quite nice if Danny decided to come back. Beautiful execution by Glover Teixeira, and not a knock to Jan. He put up one fuck of a fight.
Yeah.
It's so impressive that Glover got that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
He's 42 years old.
Yeah. But
This is his second run.
It is the second run, but this is a thing that happens at heavyweight, Shaq, is that a lot of older fighters do have massive success in there, as technique seems to be so important, and fight IQ seems so important on that level, as they are a little bit slower than, let's say, I don't know, 135er. Let's see, Charlene is asking if I'm drunk yet. No, but I am handsome right now. So maybe.
Rowan Sharp saying, damn it, Jan ruined my 5-fight parlay. Ami Hussein Morales saying, guess we got to wait for Jan versus Yuri next year. Damn it. Props, old man. Brandon Glover saying Glover.
Yeah.
Truck, yeah, to that. David Karaswitz saying y'all look tired as fuck. Well, yeah, Ethan Forster, yeah, your commentating is cool. We're it's the middle of the afternoon.
The middle of the day. Do you know what we did last night? Partied like awesome people. Fuck off.
That gummy worm is still in there somewhere.
There we go. My God. The shit-eating grin on Dana White's face for just a great story in Glover Teixeira. I'm a little moved, man.
And he's just yelling, where's my fucking money? You fucking owe me money. Run me that belt.
And Dana laughing, I'm not going to give it to you.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
Zombie Teletubby thing, bring me my fucking money.
Oh my God. What a storybook ending. I mean, not ending, beginning for Glover Teixeira.
And you see Jan Blachowicz, he is resigned in the corner. I believe his wife is there with him. He's just trying to show respect to Teixeira. Blachowicz just completely gutted.
This was apparently Glover's 40th professional fight at 42 years old.
Wow.
UFC light heavyweight champion. Wow.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for this post-fight speech. Dude, please, I hope he retires. I don't want to see him fight. I don't want to see him fight, man. This is such a beautiful moment.
He just won the fucking belt,
such
Jack.
a beautiful
Go
moment.
out on top like Bruno.
Yeah, man. Pull a GSP, dude. Dude,
I mean,
it's wild how, like, at every fight leading up to this, Glover was, like, getting dropped and then sort of taking someone down like Jaws and submitting him. And he just comes in here and just outclasses Jan Blachowicz, who's looked amazing in this run.
It was just
so, like, I don't know what to make of this.
I think we make of this that he's made adjustments in his game and decided not to get hit in the face as often.
Yeah.
And that seemed to work well for him.
He let him come in. He let Jan come in. He let the opportunity find themselves. And he just took it when he needed it.
A beautiful moment where Glover just kissed Dan Cormier on the head, and Dan's eyes just went right to the belt. It's like, give it to me. I want that. fucking.
He has no words to describe what he's thinking right now.
I mean, who do you put up against him next?
I don't know.
Shaq, who's in the top 5 of the light heavyweight division right now?
No
Let
one
me
who
take
wants
a
to
look.
fuck with Glover Teixeira.
Off the top of my head, I think Alexander Ratchich is probably next in line.
Okay.
Light heavyweight, it's Glover. Oh no, sorry. What am I saying? Yuri Prochazka, guys. This is what I'm saying. I don't want to see that fight. I don't want to see crazy Yuri Prochazka throw like axe elbows at Glover's head, man.
Yeah.
So it's Yuri Prochazka, then it's Alexander Ratchich. You have Anthony Smith, who's not getting a title shot at number 4, and Thiago Santos at number 5.
Yeah.
Teixeira becoming the oldest first-time champion in modern UFC history at 42 years and 2 days. The oldest in non-modern UFC history was Dan Severn at allegedly 65,000 years.
Dan Severn.
Don't hurt me, Dan Severn.
Ageless. God damn. We're seeing some replays and Glover striking.
He just found a way to get
Beautiful.
inside and use Jan's reach against him.
Yeah.
Because he was able to step inside and you saw those shots. Jan was landing, but he was missing the mark. He was throwing the full use of his reach and he was catching Glover faintly on the back of the head.
Glover's movement was, for a 42-year-old, insane.
Yeah.
God damn.
And that's his 4th submission victory in 6 fights.
I gotta say, I think this may be my favorite card we've called.
This has
Top
been
to
one.
bottom.
This has been a fun night.
Yeah, this has been.
It's had everything
gorgeous.
you want from a UFC card. You have referee fuckery, great finishes. Next week's going to be interesting. Sucks that you're not going to be here.
My apologies. I'm gonna miss it so much.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure being with all of you here.
Mhm.
Thank you, those watching the chat and those watching on YouTube later. Thanks, gang.
Yeah, he's gotta wonder if he's gonna retire. Charlene saying it sucks. Well, that you're not gonna be here, but the rest of the gang will be here.
Yeah,
And
the
I
rest
think-
of the gang will be here.
Is that
Tune
Yuri?
in,
Is
Charlie.
that Yuri Prochazka in the crowd? Is he gonna hop the rail?
He doesn't need to. He's just standing there, very, very handsome in his little polo. Good for him.
But we will be back next week for UFC 258. It will be Colby Covington against Kamaru Usman. It will also be Rose Namajunas against Weili Zhang and a whole bunch of other fun fuckery. But Glover Teixeira earning his moment here. If you want to be a part of next week's show, all you got to do is like and subscribe this channel if you're watching the Combat Culture channel on YouTube, or if you are watching us across any of the other platforms. We will be going live on those platforms at 9:45 p.m. Eastern next Saturday night. So a week from now on November 6th. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Charlene saying predictions for next week. Pain. You'll get our full predictions at the start of the night as we go through the night's card. But let's just say our rooting interests are very much against Colby Covington. But be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Shout out to a Jason Hero who just subscribed. Where are we looking at in terms of subs for today, Shaq? You don't have to give it to us right now, but take a look at that count as we go through the rest of this. Is Jan Blachowicz being interviewed by Daniel Cormier right now, and you can only feel for Jan Blachowicz right now. Like that's a shitty
What
place
a
to be.
heart, what a guy, what a champion was Jan Blachowicz. Was in terms of champion. He still exists. He didn't fucking die. And I think he's still young enough that he has a bright future in the light heavyweight division. So I hope he comes back from this. Maybe an Anthony Smith fight. I don't know.
No, he's done.
Yeah.
He got arrested a couple weeks ago.
Oh, for what?
Domestic.
Anthony Smith?
Oh, wait. Who? Oh, no, it was Luis Pena. I'm sorry. I flipped him with Violent Bob Ross. I was like, wait, no, hold on. Fuck.
Okay. You just had a bunch of people collectively go, what?
Yeah.
Anthony Smith, the man who like fought off.
No, I legitimately flipped him
in
with
his
Luis
house.
Pena for some reason because you said, "Oh, he's not getting a title shot," and that was in my head. I was like, "Oh yeah." I confused light heavyweight domestic, and I was like, Anthony Smith and Luis Pena kind of just mended in my mind. I apologize.
All right.
That's just me being tired.
Let me look up this card for next week. I'm going to give my official predictions.
Yeah. I mean, I think I can tell you off the top of my head.
Yeah. Shaq, give it to me. I'll
main
tell
event,
you.
Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington 2.
Usman by murder for that fight. I think Usman has outclassed him in the past and is a better fighter now than he was then. Next fight.
Rose Namajunas, Zhang Weili 2.
Zhang Weili by head kick.
Interesting.
A little return there. The one I'm most excited for, Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler.
Justin Gaethje by knockout.
He's really angry at people on Twitter these days. He got into it with Ally Quinta in my subtweets. That was really weird.
That's funny. What else do we got?
We have Shane Burgos versus Billy Quarantillo.
Ooh,
I got Burgos.
Really cute.
Yeah.
And I know I'm missing one, but I'll look it up real quick. I know I'm missing one. What is it? It is yes, Frankie Edgar versus Marlon Chito Vera.
ooh.
My head says Marlon Chito Vera. My heart says Frankie Edgar. And one cannot count out Frankie Edgar.
Let me ask you what for one from the prelims. Ally Quinta, Bobby Green.
Ally Quinta. I think Bobby Green has been wildly inconsistent since coming to the UFC. He was so fucking cool in Bellator, if I'm remembering my shit correctly. His movement is incredible. I feel like he's the Uriah Hall of his division.
Also, Ally Quinta in New York fights is tremendous, not only because it's his hometown, but he also knows if he can close a fight in New York, he can close some houses on Long Island. So there's a little bit more of that added pressure.
There's some other good stuff on there. Alex Pereira, the Glory Kickboxing 2-division champ, the only person to knock out Israel Adesanya, is making his debut in the UFC.
Oh, fuck me sideways.
Yeah. And Edmund Shabazian will try and bounce back against Nasruddin Imavov, who's from the same campus.
Card. I wish I could be there.
You can't.
I can't. I got to do the schmacting thing, which, thrilling. I get to go to Miami to be an actor for shit.
Matt, are you going to have a temporary replacement who may, shine bright and then take over Brendan's spot permanently?
I have suggested someone. We will see how much.
It could be the puppet. It could be Steph. Would you like to come and co-host and do the live coverage as well at the same time?
The 2 minutes.
I know so much. I don't want to intimidate you or Shaq with my knowledge.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
And Dana White cannot be counted on. Charlene suggesting Zach Amico.
He will be in Houston for Skankfest South, so he will not be able to join us. But you know what? The only way you'll know who will be sitting next to me next week on this show is if you'll watch live. So not only do you get 2 title fights, you get a whole bunch of fun stuff, and it's
mystery tag partner, baby.
It's a fight inside Madison Square Garden, and I'm going to have a mystery partner joining us next week. But before we head on out of here, be sure to follow us across social media. You can follow Steph Sotilli on Twitter at Steph Sotilli, and also God's Unwanted Daughter on TikTok. Follow Steph throughout the month of October as she brings you her look at some of the biggest and most interesting movies about Halloween or just horror in general. You can follow Shakiel Mahjouri at Shaq_Fu. Keep an eye at Cage Side Seats and MMA Mania for more content of the written and spoken word from our friend Shakiel Mahjouri, the man holding it down in Vancouver, scanning BC for all the fun, falderall, and violence. And you can follow Brendan Sokler on Twitter at Brendan Sokler. You can see him in Miami next weekend, but do be sure to watch the fights first.
Yeah, and I'll say right before I fuck off to Miami, if you want to give me a goodbye, come to Catalyst Wrestling on November the 5th. Matt, details for that?
Catalyst Wrestling returns with The Real Deal next Friday night, November 5th in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. Mance Warner will face off against Steve Gibke in his first match since being a free agent. Also, Jordan Oliver will go for the Catalyst Wrestling Freestyle Championship going against Ghost Shadow.
As a free agent, I mean, we have some of the spiciest and hottest fucking free agents on the market right now. Catalyst Wrestling, it's bumping. Come check it out.
People from MLW, AEW, the NWA, and all around the boards coming around to Catalyst Wrestling. Tickets and information available at catalystwrestling.com. Or if you're not able to join us next Friday night in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, Catalyst Wrestling's last event, that would be Steal This Show. You can buy for $1 at catalystwrestling.com for all the information on that. Head to catalystwrestling.com. And you can also follow me on the Twitter machine at MRyan Consulting. That's MRyan Consulting. But for this time, until the next time, for Shaq, for Steph, for Brendan, I'm Matt Ryan. We're going to say so long from the Garden State. Like, comment, subscribe, and don't be a douchebag.